Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Tonight, the Cubs finish up a 3-game series in St. Louis, a place where they have historically lacked success. But Lou Piniella's crew is unbeaten this year in the gateway to the West as this collection of clutch hitters goes for the sweep. Next. We are coming to you from Busch Stadium in St. Louis, Missouri for Chicago Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet. And the Cubs tonight trying to do something they haven't accomplished in 19 years. That is sweep the Cardinals in St. Louis in a 3-game set. And going back to June 3rd, the Major League standings, the Cubs leading the way, the Yankees playing good baseball. Milwaukee lost earlier today, so the Cubs are tied in the loss column and a game and a half out in the National League Central. And welcome to Cubs baseball tonight. Bob Renly and Len Casper with you, and the Cubs continue to get it done offensively, particularly with 2 outs.
Yeah, Lou Piniella after the ball game said those 2-out base hits are demoralizing to the other ball club, and the Cubs have done a lot of demoralizing this season. 198 runs scored with 2 outs. That's second, tied for second with the Braves in the National League. The Phillies lead the way, and in this series alone, 9 of their 11 runs have scored with 2 outs.
And in this series, Jock Jones and Cliff Floyd in particular coming up with those key hits.
Yeah, Jock Jones on Tuesday night with a big 2-out knock, and then last night it was Cliff Floyd with the big hit. 5 of the guys you would consider regular in the Cubs lineup are hitting over 300 with runners in scoring position in 2 outs.
And they're both in the lineup tonight. You see what Cliff has done, 358. Jock Jones hitting over 300 with 21 RBIs in that situation. And as we talk about the pitching matchup tonight, a couple of right-handers, and Jason Marquis trying to beat his former team yet again.
Well, he's done pretty well against his former team this season, 3-0 in 3 starts. Jason Marquis coming off a real good outing against the Diamondbacks, pitched into the 8th inning, only gave up a 2-run homer. Braden Looper, on the other hand, coming off his shortest outing of the season.
So it's Marquis against Looper as the Cubs go for the sweep before they hit Cincinnati tomorrow. It'll be Marquis to take the ball. Coming up.
Plan your next corporate or social function in one of Wrigley Field's private party accommodations. Wrigley Field offers a variety of private catered opportunities to host and impress your group. The Mezzanine Suites, presented by Nuveen Investments, has 4 convenient rental plans to fit all budgets and needs. For larger parties of 75 to 100, the Batter's Eye Lounge, located in the center field Bud Light bleachers, provides a unique view of the game. All private party accommodations provide generous food and beverage packages as well as VIP parking. Call 773-404-CUBS or visit Cubs.com.
Nestled deep in the rolling hills of Scott County Park is one of the area's premier golfing experiences. Rated 4 stars by Golf Digest magazine, Glens Creek features 18 holes of championship golf that will test the talents of players of all skill levels. The clubhouse features a full range of golf accessories, and with custom fittings for both Titleist and Ping and personalized instruction, the professionals at Glens Creek can help you find the equipment and the game that's just right for you. You've played the rest, now play the best. Call Glens Creek for your tee time today.
Okay, you're all set. Your on-demand is easy to operate. Choose from movies, specials, anything really, and whenever you want. You wonder how you ever survived without it.
Nothing gives you more entertainment than Stars on Demand. Choose from an enormous library of movies that all start at the touch of a button by adding digital cable with Stars and Digital Plus for only $14.95 a month for the next 12 months. Call 1-800-CABLE-TV today.
Hello again, everyone. With Pat Boyle, I'm Mark Shanowski. First pitch just a few minutes away down in St. Louis.
But first, here's a look at the top sports stories in Chicago today. Bears training camp opened up with the coaches and players arriving in Bourbonnais, at least most of them, ahead of tomorrow's first workout at 3. Lance Briggs, who signed that one-year deal yesterday, did not show up. He received permission from Lovie Smith to show up on Saturday. But with seemingly all their major controversies resolved, the Bears are ready to get back to football.
I feel like we're more ahead than we were last year or in previous years. You know, with more guys being here, more consistent with the system of, especially what we do on defense, that we're going to be pretty good again.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think everyone is. You know, tonight we're going to get our rings, and you know that's something we're all real proud of. But we have one more step to take, and this is the first process in order to get in there.
Hey, a great finish in today's Sox-Tigers game on the south side. Bottom 9 tied at 2. The sack bunt dropped down there by Josh Fields, and Zach Miner throws it away. And watch Scotty Pods. He's healthy again, showing off his speed. He scores all the way from first on the air, and the White Sox beat the Tigers in thrilling fashion, 4-3, your final score.
Cubs will like this finish better. Reds looking to take 2 or 3 from the Brewers. Bottom 9, Cincy down 1, runner on. Scott Hatteberg singles to center. Norris Hopper comes in to score the game-tying run. That's a blown save for All-Star Francisco Cordero. Bottom 10, Reds looking for the victory. Javier Valentin comes through with a single to right. Here comes Adam Dunn, and the Reds get the victory 6-5 in 10. So here are the NL Central and Wild Card standings up to the very second. Cubs are just 1.5 back, could make it 1 game behind the Brewers by night's end. Meanwhile, the Northsiders are just a half game behind the Padres in that tight wild card race. Of course, we'll have much more on the race and all the day in sports on Sports Night after Cubs postgame live tonight.
First pitch from Busch Stadium in St. Louis is coming up right after the break. Jason Marquis facing Braden Looper. Enjoy the game, everyone. We'll see you later.
Believe it or not, I struggled with car buying issues until my friend showed me this book. Every page is filled with helpful car advice. It helped me get a great deal on the highest safety-rated minivan ever built, the Kia Sedona, with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty program. Because the more you know, the less you don't know.
Now with 2.9% APR plus 500 bonus cash plus 1,000 competitive bonus.
At Dell, we believe the 25 million small businesses in America deserve something more. So we're introducing Dell Vostro, customized systems, services, and expertise designed just for small business. PCs with no trialware, just the software you want. And they can be powered by Intel Core 2 Duo processors to keep you up and running fast. Plus the reassurance of Dell's new 30-day worry-free guarantee. New Dell Vostro, proof that we believe in small business.
Grab the beer that starts out cold and ends up refreshing. Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Free installation at Feldco can save you hundreds, even thousands. Call now.
Call 866-4FEL. DCO.
It's Feldco's biggest sale of the year. Feldco is offering free installation. Save thousands on replacement windows with no interest or payments till next year. Call for a free estimate and free installation.
Hurry, this offer ends July 31st.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866-4Feldco.
Hey, boss, do we have Aflac?
Nah, we have something else.
But if you're hurt and miss work, does it pay cash like Aflac does?
Nah.
Or let you spend it any way you want, like for gas and groceries?
Nah.
Or help with everyday bills like Aflac does?
Nah.
There's only one Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Nice try, boss.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by Chevy. Log on now to ChevyDriveChicago.com. Check us out today at ChevyDriveChicago.com. Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs. Your local area Lexus dealer who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Rico. How well do you print, copy, scan, fax? How well do you share? Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, shining through. Cadillac, Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit. And by Southwest Airlines. With more flights to more places than ever before, Southwest is taking low fares farther. Visit southwest.com.
Well, before the Cubs and Cardinals tonight, the news in Cincinnati. Good news for the Cubs as Milwaukee lost in 10 innings. Javier Valentin with a game-ending RBI single, and the Reds beat the Brewers 6-5. So the Brewers en route to St. Louis, where they'll play a 4-game series here this weekend, and the Cubs will head to Ohio after tonight's game as they go for the sweep. Now let's check in on Lou Pinella's Cubs lineup, brought to you by Southwest. Soriano, Terrio, and Lee at the top. Ramirez, Floyd, Fontenot in the middle. Mark DeRosa still day-to-day, but he is available even with the left hamstring tendonitis. Jones, Kendall, and Marquis 7 through 9.
Take a look at the Cardinals defensively. Duncan, Edmonds, and Encarnacion across the outfield today. Roland and Eckstein on the left side. Miles and Pujols over on the right side. Yadier Molina behind the plate. For the converted reliever, Braden Looper. 7-8 on the season. ERA just over 5. Mentioned he's coming off his shortest outing of the season. Only 2 2/3 innings pitched last time out against the Braves. Gave up 10 hits and 7 earned runs.
So gets his 19th start as he tries to even up his mark. 1 ball, no strikes on Alfonso Soriano. Line to third, caught by Roland. And 2 pitches and 1 out.
Roland ready to really go up the ladder there. Didn't have to go up quite as high as he thought. That little sinking line drive headed for the left field corner. 7-time Gold Glover has no problem with that one.
And it brings up Ryan Terrio. 1 out, nobody on. Ryan getting on base at a .430 clip over his last 19 games. Takes that fastball off the plate inside. 1-0 the count. 89 scorching degrees at game time. It has really heated up here in St. Louis. And what we've come to expect from this part of the country at this time of the year, the sauna-like temperatures.
We didn't realize how lucky we were the first 2 games of this series. It was very comfortable here at Busch Stadium at game time. A little different story tonight.
Oh. 1-2 Ontario. So let's check in on those game conditions. Really hot, humidity really not a factor, but it feels pretty sticky. A bouncer to Roland, so he gets another chance. And he throws to Pujols for the second out. Here comes Derek Lee, the first baseman. 3 runs in the series for Lee after coming back from the suspended list. Still protecting that front foot after fouling a ball off the ankle just before he started to serve the suspension. But you know what, Bob? I saw Derek today. I didn't even ask him how it's doing because I knew what the answer was going to be. Once I saw his name in the lineup, I knew the answer would be, it's fine.
It's fine.
Not that I don't care how Derek is feeling, but I knew what he was going to say.
Yeah, one of these days he's going to say, I'm a little tired, a little dinged up, and we're both going to pass out right there on the clubhouse floor.
Or he'll say, Len, why don't you ask me how I'm doing anymore?
Don't you care?
The 0-2 pitch, a little bit outside. Former Florida Marlins teammates Looper and Lee. A 1-2 on the way. Dips low. He's got a pretty good sinking fastball. And as a short reliever, everything was pretty hard. He'll mix in a changeup as a starter. Swing and a miss. Over the slider and gets Derek Lee on strikes. Jason Marquis against his former team. He's beaten them twice. We'll see what happens tonight when we come back.
Got an old buddy waiting for a visit in Washington? Fly Southwest Airlines from Chicago Midway to Baltimore, Washington, or Washington Dulles International for just $79 one way.
You are now free to move about the country.
The AT&T Yellow Pages. 3 ways to get the most complete local info anytime and anywhere you need it. The main directory. To find, say, a tuxedo anywhere in town. The Plus Book. The compact yet still complete companion book. To perhaps find a smoothie on the go. Or the website with all the information right at your fingertips to find the nearest place to go when you spill your smoothie all over your new tux. Yellow Pages, Plus, and online. 3 ways to find anything you need. The AT&T Yellow Pages, published by R.H. Donnelly, your local expert.
We know you like style. We know you like performance. We thought you'd like fuel economy as well. With the Pontiac G6, you get the same highway fuel economy as Camry, with even more power. The new Pontiac, designed for action.
During the Pontiac Summer Sell-Down, get into a 2007 G6 sedan starting at $16,895. Hurry, inventory limited. For more information, visit PontiacDrive.com.
Nice to know he rolled out of bed in time for the game tonight.
I think he lost a bet. He bet his buddy the Cubs couldn't win 2 out of 3 here at Busch.
So the Cardinals will line up this way, brought to you by Southwest. Eckstein, Edmonds batting second tonight. Pujols, Duncan 3 and 4. Juan Encarnacion with 4 hits last night. Scott Rowland, Yadier Molina, Aaron Miles, and Braden Looper rounded out.
Take a look at the Cubs defensively, brought to you by Rico. Move your ideas forward with Rico dependability. Soriano, Jones, and Floyd will be manning the outfield tonight. Ramirez and Terrio on the left side. Fondo, Lee on the right side. Jason Kendall behind the plate tonight for the other Jason, Marquis on the mound.
And he's ready to work against David Eckstein, who's 0 for his last 10. He bounces it foul, strike 1. Marquis 2-0 this year against the Cardinals, 3-0 in his career. Won a World Series ring last year, but did not participate in the postseason after a really rough second half. Eckstein with his first hit of the series. And a leadoff single to start the bottom of the first.
Cubs have had good success in getting Eckstein to hit the ball in the air in this series. We talked about it after the first game. A lot of lazy fly balls to left field, lazy fly balls to center field. Kind of shortened up his swing right there. Just tried to poke that ball into right center and was able to do so.
The Cardinals have really struggled scoring runs. Currently 13th in the National League. Eckstein got an unbelievable jump. He was halfway to second before Marquis even let go of the pitch. Just their 30th stolen base for the Cardinals. And all of a sudden he's at second base with no outs. Watch this.
Boy, this is based on past knowledge. David Eckstein playing behind Jason Marquis has a pretty good idea of what he does out there on the mound, and just decided he was going to take off as soon as Jason Marquis came set.
The 1-0 pitch to Edmonds. Lazy pop fly to center. Eckstein's going to tag. Jones will make the catch. He's going to test him. Here's a throw to third, and Eckstein's in. So nice base running again from David Eckstein, challenging Jock Jones and getting to third pretty easily.
A strong throw by Jock. Unfortunately, it was offline toward the left field side of third base. Ryan Terrio went ahead and cut it off. Got rid of it in good shape. Looked like it was going to be a one-hopper right on the bag, but you can clearly see it was offline. Ramirez came off the bag to back up Terrio to make sure that ball didn't get through. Good aggressive base running by David Eckstein.
The Cardinals pretty aggressive on the bases, and again a team that's struggling offensively, and Albert Pujols kind of the face of this offense in that regard. He's 0 for 9 to this point in the series. So going hitless in back-to-back games for the first time since July's 5th and 6th. And has not reached base safely in consecutive games for the first time since mid-May. One ball, one strike on Pujols. Runner at third, one out. Just underway. We're in the last of the first. Eckstein will score if it's fair. That ball is foul. It kicked off the edge of the grass. Foul right in front of first base.
Boy, now that's a tough call for Derek Lee. Do you pick up the ball in fair territory knowing that a run will score? If you do, you get the out and you retire Albert Pujols, but you let this ball go foul, perhaps you have an opportunity to retire Pujols without that run scoring. Boy, flip a coin on that one. I don't know. Normally you would never, ever want to give Albert an extra swing and an at-bat. But because of the way he struggled in this series and the fact that the run was going to score on that play, take a little risk.
I like the risk. And the other thing here, Bob, it's the first inning. One and two on Pujols. Kendall wants it up. It's popped up by Pujols. Will Lee have enough room over near the home dugout? He reaches over, makes a catch. So it was the right move. 2 outs in the inning. What a catch by D. Lee.
Well, long run for Derek Lee from where he started, playing deep with Albert Pujols at the plate. A long running catch right in front of the railing on that first base side. Kind of snuggled it back into the pocket of his glove here. You'll see he gets the glove on the ball and then pulls it back in there where he knows he has a good grip on it as he hits that railing.
Duncan hits a ground ball to short. He slipped coming out of the box. That gives Terrio extra time. And Marquis gets out of it with no runs allowed. Nicely done all around. To the second, no score.
Cordially invited to the event from Lexus. The summer sales event where you'll find unexpected values on the Lexus you've always wanted. But like summer, it won't last forever. The event, now through September 4th. See your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer.
I am your idea, and I'm huge. Tab me, bind me, stack me, send me round. I'm your big idea. You can't stop this. I'm your biggest idea. And Rico moves me, shows me, sends me. Leaves me behind, but never in a bind. It's the big time. I'm your big idea. And Rico's how we go and go and go.
Don't let anything stop you.
There's something strange about that SOP sign.
From seeing the Simpsons movie.
You can't keep stopping at every SOP, yelled, or one vase sign.
Rated PG-13.
Pull out your disco shirts and platform shoes. The Cubs take on the Phillies this Tuesday at 7:05 and come celebrate 70s night with the legendary Barry Williams, best known as Greg Brady on the Brady Bunch. 70s night is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Fans dressed in the best 70s outfits will receive airline tickets compliments of Southwest Airlines. We always look forward to 70s night. And it doesn't look like the Cubs are going to see Chase Utley in that series. He suffered a broken right hand today as he was hit by a pitch in a 7-6 loss to the Washington Nationals. That's a huge loss for the Phillies. Chase Utley with 41 doubles, hitting .334, has scored 77 runs. Second in the league in total bases behind Jimmy Rollins, his teammate. Swing and a miss by Ramirez, 1 ball, 2 strikes. So you could say Utley is putting together an MVP caliber season.
He's just littered all over the leaderboard in the National League. Multi-hit games, 37. Total bases, as you said, right there behind teammate Jimmy Rollins.
Just off the outside corner on a slow breaking ball from Looper. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We'll have another 70s night coming up Saturday in Cincinnati. In the hole, backhanded play by Eckstein. Right on the mark to beat Aramis Ramirez. So Braden Looper 4 up, 4 down. I don't know if our good friend Tom Brenneman will be in the 70s outfit, but I know his father Marty will.
What makes you say that?
Because I heard him talking about it on the radio today. I was listening to the Brewers and Reds game, and apparently Marty was bragging that he could still fit into whatever the leisure suit or whatever he still owns from the 70s, so they're going to make him try it on.
Well, most of Tommy's wardrobe is 70s classic anyway, so he'll be right in style.
Ball 1 on Cliff Floyd. Tell you what, that will not be an easy series. The Reds playing pretty good baseball lately, and again beating Milwaukee again today. High chopper over Looper, but Eckstein behind second base makes the play. So let's check in on those updated standings, and the key numbers that loss column. The Cubs have played 3 fewer games than the Brewers, but if they can win all 3 of those games, they will be tied. You can't make up the losses, but you can make up the wins. And I guess the best way to look at that is, let's say you had 3 more losses than Milwaukee, you would be then hoping that they would lose 3 times, and what you want is you want to have your own fate in your own hands, and that's really the case for the Cubs right now, with still a long way to go. Those games in hand are big if you can be even up in the loss column. And what the Cubs hope is that they can sweep the Cardinals, and then the Cardinals will get hot this weekend. With the Brewers coming in. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Mike Fontenot. 2 RBI singles last night. 1 in the 4th and another 1 in the 5th. Cubs tonight playing game 100. They're 53 and 46. Swing and a miss, and Braden Looper with back-to-back perfect innings to start his night. Jason Marquis will take on Encarnacion, Roland, and Molina when we come back.
Who's counting on your brakes today?
We'll be home soon.
Your brakes are too important to trust to just anyone. So come to Midas, where lifetime guaranteed brake pads or shoes are just $89.95 per axle installed. For brakes, oil changes, tires, and more. Be safe.
Trust the Midas touch.
Chicagoans love their pizza. That's why you come to Giordano's, some for 30 years now. We use only the finest ingredients to make Giordano's famous stuffed pizza, our equally famous thin crust pizza, plus salads, pastas, sandwiches, and more. Come on into Giordano's and celebrate 30 great years with us. Giordano's famous stuffed pizza. We made it good. You made it famous.
See that house? I built that house.
Hey, see that truck? I built that truck.
The American-built Toyota Tundra. Now with 0% APR financing or $3,000 cash back. Find out more at ytundra.com.
Cubs baseball is brought to you in part by Aflac. Ask about it at work. And by Nissan, who invites you to shift the way you move through the world.
Recognize your loved ones on the sidewalks beneath the historic Wrigley Field marquee. Join thousands of others in the commemorative paver program and make your mark on the grounds of Wrigley Field. All orders come with a replica brick for your home or office. Space is limited, so order today. For complete details, visit Cubs.com or call 1-800-851-6846. One and one on Juan Encarnacion, who had 4 hits last night.
4 hits in his career and 12 at bats against Jason Marquis. 2 of those 4 hits, long balls. This is a guy that kind of sneaks up on you, Juan Encarnacion. He's a very streaky hitter. When he's hot, he can carry a ball club. When he's not hot, you can go right after him. But there's obviously guys in this lineup that you're probably more concerned with than Juan Encarnacion, unless he's in one of his hot streaks.
Nice play by Marquis. He'll lollipop it over to Derek Lee, and Encarnacion is out. There's Scott Rowland digging in with 1 out.
One hopper right back to the mound. Jason Marquis, being a sinker ball pitcher, is used to having balls come back through the middle of the field. Makes a nice play and throws on for the easy out at first. And you really notice a difference, Lynn, when you watch a guy who's a power type pitcher or a fly ball type pitcher, a guy that strikes out a lot of batters, and they get a ball hit back through the mound. It's like they're shocked. They don't expect that ball to come back at them. But a sinker ball pitcher is always anticipating a ball hit back through the mound.
1-1 to Rowland. High in the air the other way. It's Cliff Floyd to make the catch. So 2 fast outs. Yadier Molina batting 7th tonight. Will step in. Well, Greg Maddux would be the classic example of a sinker ball pitcher who is always ready to field his position. That's why he wins the Gold Glove every year.
Limited sampling between Marquis and Molina, but so far Molina's had the better of it.
Now you can see when Jason Marquis lands, he's in a pretty good fielding position. Some guys who throw really, really hard, Francisco Rodriguez would certainly stand out. He almost has his back to the plate when he finishes. But Marquis is very balanced.
Yeah, a lot of the power type pitchers, I can see a picture in my mind of Bartolo Colon, and you mentioned ends up with his back to the hitter on a lot of occasions.
Nice hop for Ramirez. And Marquis works an easy 2nd inning. Starters looking good early on. We'll go to the 3rd inning. 0-0 from St. Louis.
I wanted to add something new to our relationship, but I was afraid to bring it up. Then a close friend turned us on to KiaMatch.com, and in just minutes, we found the perfect companion for both of us.
The Kia Sportage. I felt so safe.
And with 28 miles per gallon, we could just go forever.
Find your match at KiaMatch.com or visit your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Kia retailers.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
If you're ready to make a change and find a better job, it's time to log on to BetterQCJobs.com. We're Better Quad City Jobs, here to connect you with local employers that are hiring right now. Whether you're starting a career or looking to move up to a better job, BetterQCJobs.com is the place to find the job right for you. Employers, now you can use the faster, easier way to find the employees you need at BetterQCJobs.com. So get on the internet and go to BetterQCJobs.com. Post a job, find a job at BetterQCJobs.com.
Add style to your bathroom with Magic Woods Ensembles from Menards. The Sonata Ensemble is only $699, or choose the Uptown Ensemble, only $599. Plus, all vessel bowls are 20% off. Save money with a tankless water heater and qualify for up to a $300 tax credit. All stock Bosch tankless heaters are on sale. They produce instantaneous hot water and can save you up to 30% annually compared to standard water heaters. $888.
Save big money at Menards.
Get Chicago Sports News Nightly on Land Rover Sports Night. Coming up tonight after Cubs postgame live, the Bears open camp in Bourbonnais, plus recaps of the Brewers' loss in this game. Join Mark and Pat for Land Rover Sports Night tonight after Cubs postgame live, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. Lots of Cub fans here in St. Louis, and I think they've secretly brought in their brooms as they hope for the sweep. Cubs haven't swept the Cardinals here in St. Louis since 1988 in a 3-game series. The first 4-game winning streak for the Cubs here in St. Louis since they won 5 in a row in 1983. So it's been a while. Big swing by Jock Jones. That was a fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes on him. Jock has hit .405 with 3 home runs and 42 career at-bats in this relatively new park. I said, do you see the ball better here? He said, no, not really. He's had a lot of success against the pitchers he's faced, and that includes Braden Looper. He's 4 for 7 against the veteran right-hander. 2-2 pitch popped him up. And it's Jim Edmonds calling and catching.
Now, this ballpark reminds me a lot of the old stadium. A lot of the same signage that they had over at the old Busch Stadium, the same color scheme with all the red seats and the green trim. Obviously very much updated, state of the art, but visually it looks a lot like the old ballpark. At least after they took out the turf and put in the natural grass. Of course, the biggest difference is the open center field area looking at the skyline of downtown St. Louis. Who doesn't like a view of downtown St. Louis?
And the courthouse off to the left, the arch, and I guess they're having some elevator issues in the arch. Kendall out into left. Duncan will come in. He'll play it on the bounce. I think Jason broke his bat, and it actually helped him. So that's his second hit as a Chicago Cub. And Lou Piniella yesterday saying that the plan right now is that Kendall and Coy Hill will essentially alternate assignments. So Kendall tonight, probably Coy Hill tomorrow night in Cincinnati. Is Luch trying to get Kendall's bat going. And that's a good start tonight.
Jason spent a lot of time in the cage on those games that he does not start, working with Gerald Perry, trying to figure out how to get him going. He's done a nice job behind the plate, all things considered, catching a pitching staff that he was not familiar with, trying to learn on the fly. And after that rocky first game, he's done a real nice job behind the plate, hopefully get him started at the plate.
So Kendall, the first Cubs base runner against Braden Looper after Looper retired the first 7. Well, the thing you love about having Jason Marquis and Carlos Zambrano, and I guess you could add Ted Lilly to that mix, is that you have some options here. You don't have to just lay down a bunt, and in fact Marquis swings away.
I think it all gets back to playing the percentages. Scott Rowland has drawn way in at third base, as you see the numbers for Jason Marquis on his career, and Takes a big hack right there, really extends. Looking at his right hand, he may have just lost the grip on the bat right there. If the third baseman's drawn way in and the first baseman's charging hard, it's not a good percentage play to try to put down a bunt. You're probably going to bunt into a force play at second, possibly into a double play. And if you've got confidence that that pitcher can make contact and at least put the ball in play, you've got a broken up infield to work with. So it doesn't surprise me to see Lou turn him loose.
Roland still in on the grass at third base, even with a 1-ball 2-strike count. You see where Molina wants it. He wants it just off the inside corner, but first to throw to first with Kendall back in time.
Now, we talked about Molina throughout this series. He only has 1 pickoff on the bases this year. He had 7 last year and 17 since 04. He loves to pick with a left-handed batter at the plate. You mentioned he had called for a fastball in. That's a pitch he can just step right into, throw behind the batter. The runner never sees him coming out of the chute.
Strikeout number 3 for Looper. 2 gone in the inning. Alfonso Soriano will step in for the second time after lining out hard to third to lead off the ballgame. He had hits in his final 3 at-bats last night to kind of break a funk. A triple, a double, and a single. Prior to Soriano's triple with 1 out in the 5th last night, Cubs had gone 19 1/3 innings without an extra base hit. But they would finish last night's game with 6 extra base hits. But still no home runs for either team in the series. And the homer drought, according to the Cardinal notes, in back-to-back games in this all-time series is pretty rare. The last time each team did not homer in consecutive matchups, 1991, September 29th and October 5th. We've talked about Derek Lee with just 8 home runs on the season. Cliff Floyd has 4. Jock Jones with just 2. Soriano coming in with 16. Kendall running. High fly ball by Soriano. And Chris Duncan makes the easy play. Kendall's 1-out single does not yield a run. 2.5 in the books, still scoreless.
Amstel Light. You can lean on me. Live tastefully.
A shift has been made. Now power isn't sacrificed to achieve fuel efficiency. And cars that perform great on the road also perform great at the pump. Introducing the 36-mile-per-gallon Nissan Versa, 36-mile-per-gallon Sentra, 35-mile-per-gallon Altima. 3 powerful Nissan sedans with 35 miles per gallon or higher. Lease the 2007 Nissan Altima for $229 per month. Now, you think power and fuel efficiency. Think Nissan.
Shining is showing someone the way. At Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, we want to help you live a healthy life. By providing wellness programs and initiatives, we keep you focused on staying well and living well. Because we believe sharing a commitment to a healthy way of living can inspire someone for life. Lean on me. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois, shining through.
Try Arby's new popcorn chicken shakers, made with 100% natural all-white meat chicken. Add as much or as little buffalo or barbecue sauce as you'd like, then just shake it up. So good, they'll have you saying, I'm thinking Arby's.
Tuesday, August 1st, the Cubs take on the Phillies at 7:05. The first 20,000 fans receive a scratch and win card. 500 random winners will get a Rawlings official baseball autographed by Aramis Ramirez. Compliments of Kimberly Clark. Fans are encouraged to hold on to their cards for second chance drawings throughout the game. For complete rules, visit Cubs.com. Bottom two, and then the leadoff hitter, Miles, Looper, and Eckstein. Marquis working with a quick pace. 1 ball, 1 strike on the switch hitter. Miles playing second tonight. '19th round pick of the Houston Astros in 1995, and he rolls it to Fontenot, 1 out.
Always big to get that 8-hitter leading off the inning. Force that pitcher to come to the plate and swing the bat rather than put down a sacrifice bunt.
Well, it was good to see Jason get into the 8th inning his last time out. An excellent outing against Arizona, 7 2/3, 2 runs. He hadn't gone into the 8th since May 9th. Said he mixed in his off-speed pitches better, which meant the hitters weren't able to time his fastball. Got his curve over for strikes early in the count. Marquis is 5-2 against the National League Central. And right now 7-5 on the year overall.
Jason's outing against the Diamondbacks was actually better than it looked in the box score. He gave up a 2-out hit in the first, a 2-out hit in the second, didn't give up another hit until the 5th inning. That was a leadoff single, and then unfortunately a 2-run homer, but that was all the damage the Diamondbacks did. 4 base hits.
Last night it was Ted Lilly getting his 7th consecutive win, 7 innings, 1 run. Went just 89 pitches, and Lou took him out after he had to run the bases in the top of the 7th. And an RBI single to extend his hit streak to 4.
Some of his teammates were calling him Ichiro. You know, we talk about Ted and how hard he's worked on his offense, especially swinging that bat. He's down in the cage all the time, taking extra hacks. And occasionally his swing will come apart a little bit. He kind of bails out of the batter's box almost on the run as he takes his swing. Very reminiscent of Ichiro.
So does that mean a 200-hit campaign is on the horizon for Ted Lilly?
That would be pretty remarkable. In 35 starts, that'd be amazing.
70 at bats. Let's check in on the umpires tonight. Scott Berry works the plate. Gary Darling, the crew chief at first base. Larry Poncino at second, and Jerry Meals at third. Two outs, nobody on. And Marquis has sent down 8 straight since the leadoff hit by Eckstein. Remember, he got to third base with 1 out in the first inning, but did not score. Heads up play by Derek Lee to let an Albert Pujols roller go foul. Another hit for Eckstein, 2 for 2. They would eventually get Pujols on a foul out, and then Duncan on a ground out to get out of the inning.
Ramos Ramirez playing well in front of the baseline down there at third base, which is a little surprising. You see where he's positioned right there at the cut of the grass. David Eckstein doesn't bunt very often. That time, because he was playing so shallow, Ramirez just didn't have enough range to get to that ball.
Ball 1 to Edmonds.
A little bit of a longer look that time from Jason Marquis. You may recall back in the first inning after that leadoff hit by David Eckstein, he took off as Marquis was standing in a set position on the mound, was about 3/4 of the way to second base before Marquis even got the ball to Jason Kendall.
Well, here's the LoJack caught stealing report. LoJack, the only stolen vehicle recovery system operated by the police. Fewest stolen bases as a team in the National League. The average almost twice what the Cardinals have. Ground ball foul. But I think statistically, if you look at what has really ailed the Cardinals, and we go back to our strikeouts conversation, they're 15th in walks. So they haven't been a particularly patient team. They're second in fewest strikeouts in the National League. So they've made a lot of contact, but it has not translated into a lot of runs. The Cubs certainly could walk more. They're just 14th in walks. They're 5th in batting average, and right now 8th in runs. I was looking at a couple of the top teams in runs. Philadelphia leading the National League in runs, 12th in strikeouts, but 1st in walks. And the Florida Marlins are 2nd in the National League in runs. That's surprising. And they have struck out the most. So as we said earlier this year, strikeouts aren't nearly as bad as a lot of people think they are. Sometimes it's a residual effect of teams that hit for power and teams that take a lot of pitches. That's a strike on the swing. According to Jerry Meals, 3-2 the count.
Another look at that check swing by Jim Edmonds. Barrel of the bat clearly gets out there in front of home plate. You know, that stolen base stat can be a little misleading too. The Cardinals aren't a base stealing team. They don't have base stealers. They have pretty good base runners, and they play hit and run and bunt and run a lot, but they don't straight steal many bases.
Eckstein goes on the 3-2, and Edmonds draws the free pass. So a rare walk, as we told you. Something the Cardinals do a whole lot. And that is not what Marquis wanted to do in front of Albert Pujols, even though Albert is 0 for 10 in the series. So he'll bat with 2 on and 2 down.
I think Jason Marquis executed a real good pitch in Albert Pujols' first at bat of this game. The first pitch Pujols saw was just a dive bombing sinker off the inside corner, down and in. And we've talked about Albert in this series kind of flying open with his front shoulder and his front hip. When you establish you'll come inside hard with that sinker early in the game, that'll make a hitter open up a little bit early, try to cheat to get to that sinker down and in. Makes him susceptible to pitches away.
Eckstein at second, Edmonds at first. The kick and a pitch popped him up on the right side. And Pujols strands 2. 0 for 11 in the series. Cubs will go back to work offensively in the 4th. No score.
Road and Track calls the Infiniti FX simply one of the best performance SUVs in the world. AutoWorld.com proclaimed the Infiniti QX as luxury on a grand scale. What will you say? Visit the Infiniti Limited Engagement Summer Event before it ends July 31st and receive 0.9% APR financing on select Infiniti vehicles.
Stop, Hub! Where should we sit? Right at first base. Wait, how about along the third baseline? Wow, this is great. Just like having season tickets. Looking for great seats? Buy tickets from other fans. Have extra tickets? Sell them to other fans. Go to StubHub.com today for tickets to the hottest sports, concert, and theater events, even if they're sold out. Peanuts. Hey, there's still tickets right behind home plate. Let's go for it. StubHub, your choice, your ticket, your experience.
StubHub! When fighting crime in a foreign country, the most important thing to learn is the language.
I do not understand the words that are coming out of your mouth.
I think he's speaking French.
You're Asian. Stop humiliating yourself.
Chris Tucker.
Got a boyfriend? Shut up.
Jackie Chan.
I'm half black. I'm your brother, and I'm fly.
Sorry, Lee, you can't be black. There's a height requirement.
Rush Hour 3, directed by Brett Ratner. Rated PG-13.
I'm about to beat the puberty out of you.
Starts Friday, August 10th.
Hi there, Mark.
market pad along the way. Coming up on Land Rover Sports Night, the Bears arrive at training camp. At least most of them did. We'll have a full report.
Plus, Kerry Wood pitches in Peoria in a wild finish on the south side. It's all after Cubs postgame live.
Oh, I'm excited about tonight's Aflac trivia question because I know the answer.
Uh-oh.
At least that's what I'm told. Name the last time the Cubs had 2 20-game winners. Carlos Zambrano, Ted Lilly. Could both possibly get there this year. Zambrano with 13, Lilly with 11. I not only got the year, I got both pitchers correct.
Well, now you're tempting me to cheat and get into the media guide. Well, I know from experience, when you've got 2 horses at the top of your rotation and both end up with 20 or more wins in a season, your pitching staff's in pretty good shape.
Well, that would be a good hint then when you look at Cubs history. That's all I'll say. The 2-0 pitch, Ryan Theriot taking all the way, 3-0. Only one base runner tonight for the Cubs. That was Kendall on a 1-out single in the 3rd. We're in the 4th. Cubs continuing to stymie Albert Pujols. He has stranded 3 on in his first 2 at-bats. Pop foul, 3-2. The next pitch, good take, ball 4. Leadoff man is on for the first time. Tough to steal on Yadier Molina, but Theriot has 17 stolen bases in 20 tries. You see the numbers for Braden Looper's last start, so he's already gone deeper tonight than he did in his last outing.
Looper's fairly quick to the plate. Only 4 attempts when he's been on the mound this year. But as you mentioned, Yadier Molina is the great equalizer behind the plate. If his pitcher gives him any chance at all, it's always going to be a close play at second. I mean, how about Ryan Theriot? I mean, he has hit in the leadoff spot before. It's not totally strange to him as he leads off the inning here in the 4th. But when he's hitting number 2 behind Soriano and Soriano's on base, he's a completely different hitter.
The Juan Encarnacion will take it.
You know, even though he's in the 2 spot in the lineup tonight, he led off the inning and took a lot of pitches to end up drawing a walk. That kind of versatility. So many guys get caught up in they can only hit in certain spots in the order because that's the style of hitter that I am. Theriot adjusts. You put him in the lineup and he'll do what you need him to do in that particular spot.
Ramos made an out, a ground out in the 2nd inning, but he's 6 for 11 in the series. 2 doubles last night to give him 20 on the year. Had a 4-hit game tying his career high Tuesday. Leading the Cubs in on base plus slugging came in at .921. Derek Lee right behind him at .918, both in the top 16 in that category in the National League. As that left heel up in the air. 2 strikes.
Boy, so far 2 perfect pitches to Aramis Ramirez to put him in the hole 0-2. The first pitch, a slider right on the outside corner at the knees, and then Looper comes back with a little tailing fastball almost in the same spot.
Molina setting up toward the outside corner of the pitch. It misses 1-2. That was a slider at 84.
And if you'll notice, as Molina was giving that sign, he wasn't even looking at his own pitcher. He was watching Ryan Theriot to see if Theriot was trying to peek in there and get the signs. Molina with a quick glance over to the bench.
Decent lead by Terrio. He's not running, and Ramirez gets under it. Back of second. Eckstein calling. So after the leadoff walk to Terrio, Lee and Ramirez both have made outs. And Ryan still at first base. Cliff Floyd will be the hitter. Braden Looper makes his offseason home in Palos Heights in the Chicago area. Born in Weatherford, Oklahoma. And the Cardinals drafted him 3rd overall in the first round in 1996 out of Wichita State. So this is his original team. Signed a 3-year free agent contract prior to 2006 to return to the Cardinals. Has also been with Florida and the New York Mets. Good play by Albert Pujols to keep that ball out of right field. That gets by him. It rolls to the tarp. And Ryan Terrio probably ends up at third base.
Well, the only thing that would keep him from going to third on an overthrow like that is where Aaron Miles is positioned for Cliff Floyd. Way over in the hole between first and second. Little mini shift on here for Cliff. Boy, he hit a couple balls hard last night. A foul home run that went about 450 feet. Just foul down the right field line. And then a ringing line drive double off the center field wall.
They should keep a stat. Foul home runs. This guy leads the league with 8 foul home runs. 1-1.
I think Jerry Hairston would have been up among the leaders in foul home runs, or at least foul hits.
Yeah, he pulled a lot of liners into the seats. And still does, I'm sure, with the Texas Rangers. Well, remember the quiet start the Cubs got off to last night before they really got it going in the 4th inning, scoring twice against Adam Wainwright. They would then add 4 in the 5th inning and cruise along and beat the Cardinals 7-1.
Ryan Terrio had a little bit of a false start over there at first base. He anticipated Looper's delivery to the plate, had a really good jump, but felt he took off a little too soon, so he slammed on the brakes. Yes, that happens to hitters a lot. They get such a big jump, they think, oh, geez, I'm going to get picked off here. Out in no man's land, I better get back to first. And then the guy goes ahead and delivers the ball to the plate anyway, and you'd like to kick yourself in the rear end for not continuing on to second base.
Base hit into center. Terrio will make the turn. A little bit of a slip. He still will get in. But he almost lost his footing. Able to maintain, and he beats the throw by Edmonds. First and third, 2 outs. And the Cubs have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs for the first time tonight.
Boy, just another rocket line drive off the bat of Cliff Floyd. Jim Edmonds lost the handle out there in center field just enough to allow Terrio to get in safely at third with a head-first slide. You'll see the stumble around second base here. I don't think Ryan had any doubt that he was going to try to go to third. Hit the top of the bag at second base. His cleats skidded right over the base, but he was able to maintain his balance and move on to third base.
So this is that spot in which the Cubs have come up with so many big hits. Strike one on Fontenot. Mike already with 20 RBIs in 39 games. I mean, for a middle infielder to have an RBI every 2 games, you extrapolate that, and if he were to play in 150, 160 games, 75, 80 RBIs. You'll gladly take that from a second baseman. You like how I dropped in extrapolate?
Yes, I did. Especially at a position where your primary concern is playing solid defense up the middle of the field. Bondo's been a pleasant surprise offensively. Nice, compact, quick swing, no stride whatsoever. Just kind of rocks up on his front toe and then drops his heel back down on the ground, lets that ball travel a long distance before committing.
Mike Quaddy just gave Cliff Lloyd the signs. When he was done, he whispered something in Ryan Terrio's ear. The 1-2 pitch. Edmonds with Eckstein peeling off. Cubs strand 2. They get a walk and a hit, no runs. Bottom 4, still 0-0.
Something.
My bills! My hero.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
So, you been going out, huh? Big parties, music, pretty ladies. Son, we need to talk about protection.
Dad, I'm 26.
Yeah, I know. But you're never too grown up for your old man to give you one of these.
Oh, man. Dad. Thanks.
Every Coors Light can has a protective liner to lock in that refreshing frost brewed taste.
You can never be too careful.
Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
The 2007 Chevy Impala has something Toyota and Honda don't. The GM 100,000-mile warranty. And OnStar, with help at the push of a button. And diagnostic checks emailed to you every month. Impala has you covered for the road ahead. Qualified lessees get a low-mileage lease on an 07 Chevy Impala LT for around $199 a month. Residency restrictions apply. Call for details. Qualified lessees get a low-mileage lease on an 07 Impala 1LT for around $199 a month.
Time to get the answer to tonight's Aflac trivia question. How well do you know your Cubs history? Name the last time the Cubs had 2 20-game winners. The year 1969, Fergie Jenkins and Bill Hands combining for 41 wins. Cubs won 92 that year, finished in second place.
We just had Fergie in the booth last week. I believe he had 30 complete games that year, something ridiculous, some unbelievable number of complete games, which was the norm back then for your top of the rotation guys.
Yeah, I can tell you right now, he had 23 complete games in 1969. He had 30 complete games in 1971 when he won the Cy Young.
There you go. Okay, I knew it was one of those years.
267 career complete games for the Hall of Famer. In 594 starts. Duncan, Encarnacion, and Roland against Jason Marquis. Ken Holtzman won 17 that year. So the Cubs had 3 starting pitchers with at least 17 wins in 1969. Dick Selma won 10. Phil Regan won 12, saved 17 in relief. The payoff pitch on the way, and Duncan stays alive.
A little bit of a different defensive alignment tonight against Chris Duncan. Jock Jones playing straight away in center field. Cliff Floyd straight away in right. Alfonso Soriano a couple of steps over toward the line in left field. Ball pulled foul down the first baseline. Against Ted Lilly last night, a left-handed pitcher, the Cubs were playing him to hit the ball to the opposite field. Jock Jones was about 10 steps into the gap in left center. Soriano was way over close to the line in left field, and Cliff Floyd shaded into right center. But against a right-hander, they expect him to pull a little bit more. Everybody's playing pretty much straight up.
Another foul by Duncan. He has worked hard to improve his defense. But he's paid to hit. Getting on base at a .381 clip, slugging .559. And he gets on base again, drawing his 39th walk of the year. So the leadoff walk to Duncan, and now it's Juan Encarnacion hitting .375 here in July, coming into tonight. Non-waiver trade deadline will be Tuesday. Teams can still make deals into August, but the players involved will have to pass through the waiver process.
I talked to Jim Hendry before the ball game today, and he wouldn't give me any specifics, but he said he has been busy on the phone recently, and in his estimation, he didn't think it was going to be a real busy trade deadline. There's just not that many frontline players out there that a team could acquire and not only have for the remainder of this season, but maybe have them under contract for next season as well. A lot of ball clubs that are in the playoff hunt are reluctant to give up the minor leaguers, and in some cases the cash it would take to bring over some of those frontline players. Most teams trying to fortify from within.
That'll go 6, 4, and 3. The tag applied by Derek Lee, and the Cubs turned 2. That was their specialty last night. They turned 4 double plays in game 2. And the sinker baller, Jason Marquis, getting one here in the 4th inning. 2 outs.
Well, that's right in that lane. A ball with a little bit of movement down and in. Encarnacion rolls right over it. Hard slide by Duncan out there at second base, but Fontenot's able to avoid the slide. And even though his throw's a little bit high, D. Lee comes off the bag, makes the play.
Scott Rowland sends it deep to left field, and that is the first home run for either team in the series. Just his 6th of the year. And it's 1-0 St. Louis, and Scott Rowland runs as quickly around the bases after a home run as any player in the big leagues. Third career homer against Marquis.
Boy, a sinker that just didn't get to the spot that time. Boy, rolling down and through that ball, was looking for something from the middle of the plate in. He got it, and he did not miss it. Boy, how big is that double play right now?
The 15th allowed by Marquis. And the Cardinals strike first. Foul tip by Molina. You know what? That's really the first time the entire series that the Cardinal fans have had a reason to get excited. This place has been fairly quiet. The most noise we've heard has come from Cub fans. That's the way the Cubs like it.
Yeah, it's hard to describe the feeling here at Busch Stadium. Normally you come in here, it's a very raucous crowd, both the Cub fans and the Cardinal fans, but I guess you're right, the Cardinal fans haven't had a lot to cheer about in this series so far.
That's all right with us. 2-2 on Molina. Marquis coming back. Went after that high pitch. Fouled it straight back. They're in the 8th inning in San Francisco. The Giants leading the Braves 4-2. And last check, Barry Bonds 0 for 3. The Braves in the wild card mix. Cubs a half game back of the Padres along with Arizona. Also a half game out. The Braves 1 back. Pretty tightly bunched. Arizona's won 5 in a row. Swing and a miss. Diamondbacks will host Florida a little bit later. Rolling with a 2-out home run, the first blast for either team in the series, and it's 1-0 St. Louis.
So yeah, my Corolla gets a 41 miles per gallon rating. Plus I got it with $500 cash back. You know, for a Toyota. Honestly, I expected to pay a lot more. So I donated the extra money to Saving the Whales. And pandas. Wow.
Hey.
Hey.
Scott, right?
Yeah. Hi.
Hi. Well, see you at the fundraiser.
Yes, you will.
Toyota, a great way to keep moving forward.
If you get your sports coverage on dial-up, you're used to waiting a long time. Stop waiting. Upgrade to high speed now and you'll get ESPN 360, the best of sports TV and the internet combined. With clips of your favorite teams, live games, and exclusive footage, you'll never have to wait for your sports fix again. If you're waiting for a better deal, here's something to keep you busy.
Mediacom Connections presents the Quad City Swing versus the Lansing Lugnuts live July 23rd on Mediacom Connections Channel 22. All the plays, all the excitement live as it happens direct from John O'Donnell Stadium in Davenport. See all the action beginning Monday, July 23rd at 7 p.m. Also catch encore presentations of the Swing versus the Lugnuts on Channel 22 at these following times. The Swing versus the Lansing Lugnuts. Catch the game on Mediacom Connections Channel 22.
Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, and White Sox. Comcast Sportsnet.
Pledge your allegiance to the Cubs by becoming a founding member of the Cubs Club, the new official online fan club for the Chicago Cubs. Cubs Club members will receive benefits unavailable to other fans, including your very own 2007 membership card, MLB.com's game day audio for the 2007 regular season, and much more. To join today, visit Cubs.com, where baseball is always on. Cubs trail 1-0 on the Scott Rowland solo home run. You know, talking about the trade deadline, and there's been speculation the Cubs could be in the market for a right fielder. If they don't make a trade, I have a good feeling that Matt Merton will be brought back. Matt has really done a nice job at AAA Iowa, hitting .333. Nice scoop by Miles. He has time and throws out Jock Jones. Check in on our minor league report. Matt's on-base percentage .407 with Iowa, and he's slugging .571. You know, one of the concerns or issues with Matt when he was up here before is that he wasn't hitting for a lot of power. But you know what, Bob? We just talked about it. The Cubs are not hitting a lot of home runs as a team as it is. And the one thing Matt Merton will give you is a good at bat. And he'll sprinkle in some walks here and there. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised if we see Merton come back and you could see somewhat of a platoon possibly in right with Cliff Floyd. You have Pagan and Jock Jones in center field. Jock has taken a lion's share of the time lately, and you have Soriano in left. We'll see what happens. But you have to feel good that in the case of Ronnie Cedeno, Felix Pie, Matt Merton, when they have gone back to the minor leagues, they've all done a really nice job. And you know, it really goes to show you that the best way to get back here is to go down and hit and field and do all those things that they asked you to do, as opposed to going down and sulking and saying, it's not my fault. Everyone's against me. I'm sure everybody feels that way for a brief moment when you get sent out, but that really doesn't help anybody.
Nope.
And nobody's done that.
Well, I think the big question for Merton was, and I don't think it's fair to judge him based on what we saw early in the season. I think the knock is he's not a good part-time player. He's a guy that's always been a regular player, and he's always hit everywhere he's been. So he's been in the lineup on a regular basis. He struggled early this season. He found himself in a part-time role, and he just never appeared to get on track coming out of spring training. Now that he has had an opportunity to go to Iowa, get some consistent at-bats, it's obvious he's swinging the bat extremely well right now. It might be a little fairer to judge him at this point of the season rather than at the beginning of the season when he was in a completely unfamiliar role.
And if you bring him back into a winning situation, you're not asking him to do more than he's capable of doing. Matt has had some defensive issues, but you know what? If you look at the overall this year, I don't think outfield defense has been a problem at all for the Cubs. And that was one of the concerns going into the season, that the Cubs outfielders were going to have to out-hit their defensive mistakes. Jason Kendall now 2 for 2 tonight. Duncan chases it down. Kendall will end up at second base. So his first extra base hit as a Cub. He's 2 for 2 tonight. In scoring position with 1 out for Jason Marquis.
Has to feel good for Jason Kendall to get on the bus. Gets the barrel of the bat on this one. Hooks a line drive down into that left field corner. Very nearly gets away from Chris Duncan. Stumbles over there into foul territory way down in the left field corner, but Kendall holds up at second with a double.
And Kendall knows the deal right now. He's not an everyday player. He's an every other day player, and the best way to change that is to do what he's done tonight with a bat.
Hey, there's no tricks, there's no politicking, there's no BSing going on with Lou Piniella. You hit, you play. It's very, very simple. Now, on a given night, he's going to rest some of his regulars from time to time.
Bunted by Marquis. It's a good one, and it's foul. So Roland just let it continue to roll until it went foul.
Little local knowledge. Those corner infielders have to know their own field and know which balls are going to go foul, which balls are going to stay fair. Scott Rowland sees that ball inside the grass headed toward the foul line, just decides to let it roll on foul, knowing full well it's going to continue to go that direction.
You know, really, to bottom line it, there are 3 everyday position players: Soriano, Lee, Ramirez, who are allowed to go through an 0 for 20 and maintain their spot in the everyday lineup. Everybody else, it's subject to change. And if you go hitless at 3 consecutive games, Lou's going to try somebody else. He has proven that time and again this year. And you know what? There were all these reports that some guys weren't happy about lack of playing time early in the season. That's because the Cubs weren't winning. Guys don't like to sit even when you are winning, but you don't hear anybody complain about it when the team is doing well. That's not about Lou. That's about guys who want to play. And that's a very natural thing. And Lou certainly understands that.
Well, you definitely don't want to be the guy to rock the boat when things are going well just because you don't feel you're getting the proper amount of at-bats or the innings pitched or whatever the case may be. And when a ball club's winning, a lot of personal things get put on the back burner. And when you can walk away from a season with that World Series trophy and a big ring on your hand, nobody remembers what you did individually during the season. You are a world champion. Doesn't matter if you hit 330 or 130. You were a member of a championship team. And I think that's the motivating factor for those guys in that third base dugout.
2-2 on Marquis. Here's a pitch by Looper. It's a ground ball to first. Albert Pujols will step on the bag. Well, I'm not going to ask you to name names, but I'm sure you had a player or two or maybe three who at some point came into your office during the 0-1 season and complained about lack of opportunity. And after Game 7, you were hugging on the field and everybody was happy and nobody said, remember when you didn't play me on June 23rd? Right? You forget about all that stuff.
Well, I will name a name.
Okay, go ahead.
You know, Reggie Sanders with the Kansas City Royals right now has had a remarkable major league career. Great player, 5-tool guy. But in Game 7 of the World Series, I just didn't think he was the right matchup against Roger Clemens. I felt Danny Batista gave us the better chance against Roger Clemens that night. And that's a move that we made throughout the regular season, throughout the early part of the postseason, and we did it in Game 7. And Reggie wasn't happy about it. I didn't expect him to be happy about it, but I saw the big smile on his face when we were all jumping around in the middle of the infield like a bunch of idiots. It was all forgotten at that point.
Yep.
I mean, that's the kind of player you want. The alternative is a guy that you go to and say, listen, I'm going to sit you tonight. I think Danny Batista gives us a better chance to win. Whoa, good. Thanks. I didn't want to face the Rocket anyway. You don't want those guys.
Deep left field for Soriano, but Duncan will catch it about 3 feet in front of the Cubs bullpen. He gave it a ride, but just a long out to end the inning. Still 1-0 St. Louis.
I'm on the 415. Let's see what kind of plane you'll be on today.
Step over there and spin that wheel. Come on.
Come on, big plane.
Woo, big plane, big plane, big plane. Big plane, big plane. No. Small plane.
On Southwest Airlines, you'll never fly in a small plane. We guarantee every seat on every flight is on a big, comfortable Boeing 737.
You are now free to move about the country.
Recognize your loved ones on the sidewalks beneath the historic Wrigley Field marquee. Through the commemorative paver program, you can join thousands of fans in celebrating the day you became a Cubs fan, declared your loyalty, or preserve your favorite Cubs moment. If you're a Cubs fan, how can you pass up this opportunity to become part of Wrigley Field? Each order includes a replica paver for your home or office and makes a perfect gift. So to purchase, visit Cubs.com or call today. Space is limited, so order now.
One half-ton pickup has the best warranty of any other, the best fuel economy of any other, not to mention the highest possible front crash test rating. Makes you wonder why you'd want any other truck. The all-new redesigned GMC Sierra.
It's the GMC Summer Sell-Down on a great selection of 07 models. Right now, get 0% APR or $2,000 total cash back when you purchase an all-new 07 Sierra 1500 Extended or Crew Cab. For more information, visit gmcdrive.com.
Time now for a GMC Sports Update.
Hi, everyone. Luke Stuckmeyer in our Comcast Sportsnet studios. Back to St. Louis in a moment. First, a look at how the Brewers did today. Reds and Brewers, bottom of the 10th. Reds looking for the win, and Javier Valentin comes through with a base hit, scoring Adam Dunn. Valentin's second game winner of the series. They win it 6-5. Cubs now trail Milwaukee by a game and a half. They're just a half game out in the wild card. Now, more Cubs baseball. London Bob.
Luke, thank you. It's 1-0 St. Louis, but Jason Marquis has pitched well. One mistake. That was a Scott Rowland home run.
It really wasn't that big of a mistake either. After getting the big double play ball, he was just trying to get ahead of Scott Rowland, a get-me-over sinker, and Rowland didn't allow it to get over the plate. He golfed it out of here to left field.
Last of the 5th. After Soriano with a deep fly out to end the top of the inning. Aaron Miles with a leadoff single, and Braden Looper will come up and try to bunt him over.
Once again, Ramirez drawn in to protect against the bunt, a potential bunt by Aaron Miles, and Miles able to just slap that ball past him into left field. Now an obvious bunt situation here for the Cardinals, at least you would think so.
3 sack hits for Looper on the year. Took a slider low and outside. You mentioned Rick Ankiel earlier in this series. Began his career as a pitcher and now as an outfielder. He hit a 2-run home run for AAA Memphis last night. His 29th of the year. And with the way the Cardinals are going, I wonder if at some point in the final 2 months if they'll bring Ankiel up and see what he can do at the big league level.
What a remarkable story that would be.
And the reason he's not pitching is because he just completely lost his command. I mean, he was one of the top prospects in all of baseball, but got to the point where he couldn't throw a strike.
Not only could he not throw a strike, he couldn't even throw the ball close enough for the catcher to catch the ball. Every other pitch was going to the backstop, and geez, he was blessed with such a remarkable arm. I mean, this is a guy that people were touting as a perennial Cy Young candidate early in his career, and it just disappeared for him. But through perseverance and an enormous amount of hard work, he's converted himself into a power-hitting outfielder.
He threw 5 wild pitches in 1 inning in the 2000 playoffs. 5. And Jason needs to throw a strike. I mean, the Cardinals are trying to give the Cubs an out as Looper tries to move Miles into scoring position. You have to figure he's trying to throw a sinker right down the middle. Just could not find the strike zone, and Looper's on with a walk.
This one chases Looper right out of the batter's box. You would assume that David Eckstein now is going to make his way to the plate to put down a sacrifice bunt. And in this particular situation, I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see the Cubs field this ball aggressively and try to get the force at second base. With Eckstein's speed, I don't believe they'll be able to turn a double play unless it's a real poor bunt. But with the pitcher running from first base, you might be able to get that force play at second base, which of course would then leave the double play in order. The Cubs could conceivably get out of the inning without a run scoring if Marquis could keep that sinker down low.
Now Looper does run pretty well for a pitcher, and right now has a huge lead as Derek Lee is charging. The bunt goes toward Ramirez. They won't have a play at second. They'll get Eckstein at first base. Second and third, 1 out. And first base open with Edmonds coming up and Pujols on deck. But they're going to pitch to Edmonds, even with Pujols 0 for 11 in the series, I would think.
Well, that's one of those ones for Lou Piniella. It has to be a little bit tempting, given the struggles of Pujols in this series, and also the fact that Albert Pujols has grounded into 17 double plays on the season. You just never like to put base runners on base ahead of Albert Pujols. I don't care what the situation is.
Well, your line is, and it's so appropriate, that you can never say never. There are no absolutes in this game, so you just can't say you would never intentionally walk somebody in front of Albert Pujols, but it's pretty close to that. And I think what it gets down to is, even though he's struggling, as Edmonds fouls away 1-1, at some point he's going to break out of it, and you don't want it to be tonight. And actually, Bob, I think it's even more than the idea of Pujols hurting you with his bat. I think it's his eye at the plate. If you walk Edmonds to load the bases, with Marquis' command right now struggling, there's no guarantee that Pujols is even going to swing. He has such a good eye at the plate, and I think that's why Tony La Russa took a lot of heat for not pinch hitting Albert Pujols in the 9th inning in the All-Star game. There was a minor controversy that lasted for a couple of days because nothing was happening in baseball, but Tony saved Pujols, his last position player on the bench for the National League, in case of extra innings. They had the bases loaded down 1 in the 9th inning. And instead of using Albert, he stuck with Aaron Rowand, who flied out to end the game. And a lot of people said Pujols probably would have walked to force in the tying run. Francisco Rodriguez was struggling with his command.
Well, and you know that game counts.
It counts.
How can you have Albert Pujols sitting on the bench, never get into the game if it counts? Oh, well.
2-2 on Edmonds. Make it 3-2. So the situation we just talked about, potentially bases loaded with Pujols at the plate, is close to becoming a reality unless Marquis can hit his spot here against Edmonds. A kick and a pitch, and they're loaded. And Larry Rothschild will head out. Now, as part of that story, Bob, I didn't realize that one of the All-Star game rules is if you run out of players and you have an injury behind the plate, that you can actually bring a catcher back into the game. That's the only position you can do it, right?
Correct, yeah.
Tony La Russa's idea was to add an infielder and an outfielder as a provision, just to let him use an Albert Pujols, because he said, look, maybe I missed the moment. And if he had used Pujols and they had gone to extras, he was not going to use a pitcher on defense, and the National League would have had to forfeit. How about that? They would have had to forfeit home field advantage in the World Series. Well, the bottom line is Pujols didn't bat. The American League now has home field advantage, and he bats with the bases loaded tonight in a game that really counts. Here's a pitch. Ball one. Well, the cameras are out with Pujols at the plate.
And once again, even with Pujols at the plate, bases loaded, one out, close ball game, and not the normal buzz you would hear here at Busch Stadium. Oh,
that will force in a run. Pujols hit by a pitch, and it's 2-0. So the first time Pujols has reached base in this series comes as he's hit by a pitch with the bases loaded.
But Jason Marquis' command had been so good through the early part of this ball game, and it has really escaped him here in the 5th inning. He tried to go inside with a fastball, just runs further inside, catches him right in a rib cage. But most batters bring that left arm down to protect that rib cage. Pujols went up with the left arm and had those ribs exposed. That's that Tony Roma fastball.
Nicely done. One strike on Duncan. Well, this is a big spot here for Jason Marquis, trying to limit the damage. And action just starting up in the Cubs bullpen. I believe that's Billy Petrick out there. 2 strikes on Duncan. Keeping along the lines of chain restaurants, Duncan, of course, was swinging a bat on deck with the Dunkin' Donut on it. Yours was much better. Outside, 1-2. There it is. The D-U-N-C-A-N donut.
Now you could dunk that one in coffee for a week, and it's not going to soften up enough to eat.
How about when Duncan faces Todd Coffee? That could be pretty crazy. The 1-2 pitch. Pulled foul. Len and Bob with you tonight. And our Comcast Sportsnet crew. Bases loaded. 2-0 Cardinals. Jason Marquis in a major jam here in the 5th inning. The pitch. Off his foot, it's foul. All of a sudden, Duncan was fine. Hopping along, I think, just to prove that it hit his foot. And then he was fine. I think he wanted to make sure the umpire knew that that ball was not fair.
That's a wise move by the youngster. Make sure everybody in the ballpark knows that that ball hits you on the foot, so you can hit into this double play.
Outside, 2-2. Blast. Cliff Floyd already back at the wall, and that is a grand slam for Chris Duncan. His 20th home run of the year, and the Cardinals have busted it open. It's now 6-0. Marquis just lost his grip on this inning.
Boy, and it really started with the base on balls to the opposing pitcher. The Cardinals were trying to give the Cubs an out there with the sac bunt. Certainly would have completely changed the complexion of the inning to have David Eckstein at the plate with one out and a runner at second, rather than first and second, nobody out. And then things just spiraled out of control after that. Needs to right the ship here quickly.
Encarnacion on the ground to third. Ramirez to Lee. 2 outs.
I wasn't sure if Duncan had enough distance. He hit this ball a mile in the air. Out over the plate, gets full extension through the ball. I don't even think he was sure. Cliff Floyd thought he had a play going all the way back in front of the Cardinals bullpen. Just couldn't get up there quite high enough. Duncan has to hold up, make sure he does not pass the runner who was on first base.
The second career grand slam for Chris Duncan. 2 home runs for the Cardinals tonight. The other one belonging to Scott Rowland. Five runs on 2 hits this inning. Boy, as much stress on a pitcher as you could possibly have in one inning. Rowland shoots it deep to center. Jones on the track. Nice running catch for the second straight night for Jock Jones. 29 pitches for Marquis in the inning. The big blast, the Chris Duncan grand slam, and it's now 6-0 Cardinals.
It's the Chevy Summer Sales Drive, where you'll find the all-new Chevy Silverado 1LT with the best available 4x4 highway fuel economy and the best warranty of any full-size pickup. Better than Ford, better than Toyota. And now we're giving Silverado our best lease yet.
Qualified lessees can get a low-mileage lease on this 07 Silverado half-ton for around $259 a month. Residency restrictions apply. Call for details.
Qualified lessees get this 07 Silverado half-ton for around $259 a month.
It's all about freedom to see clearly, to be at the top of your sport, the top of your profession, at the top of the world. It's freedom, brought to you by Kraft Laser Vision Correction. No one can match the Kraft Eye Institute in laser vision experience or results. Why trust your eyes to anyone else? The Kraft Eye Institute. It's freedom to see, to do, to be your best. Call Kraft today and see how far freedom can take you.
Tomorrow, the road trip continues for Alfonso Soriano and the Cubs when they hit Cincy for a slugfest with the Reds. Coverage starts with Verizon Wireless Cubs pregame live. Cubs Reds tomorrow at 5:30 on Comcast Sportsnet Plus. Fans' best friend.
Cubs baseball is brought to you in part by Midas. Visit Midas for brakes, expert auto maintenance, and tires. And by the all-new full-size 2007 Toyota Tundra.
Chris Duncan with a grand slam. Right before that, Albert Pujols was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded. So it's now 6-0. Ryan Theriot swings at the first pitch and fouls out to Pujols, 1 out.
Boy, just one plate appearance after I talked about his patient approach. He's a good leadoff hitter. He's a good two-hitter. You can hit him anywhere in the lineup. Ryan a little overly aggressive that time. Down by 6. Cubs need base runners, and a lot of them.
Well, a couple of veterans nearing milestones. A-Rod last night with his 499th career home run. Tom Glavine with career win number 299. I think Glavine's next start's going to be in Milwaukee. If he doesn't win number 300, it's possible he could go after it at Wrigley Field the following weekend. We want to remind fans that tickets are still available for select dates for the remainder of the season, especially September night games. A 2-ball, 2-strike count on Derek Lee. Long road back for the Cubs tonight, trailing by 6.
You know, we've talked a lot about the lack of home runs from the Cubs offensively, and this is the kind of night when it will really show up. It's tough to make up 6 runs when you're doing it a base at a time. You'd like to get a couple guys on there and have one of the big guys hit one up in the seats and immediately make it a close ball game.
Well, that's deep to right. Encarnacion back. He's at the track. There you go. Derek Lee with a home run. Right on cue. His 9th of the year. It's 6-1. How about 5 more of those?
Well, that'll work too. Opposite field home run by Derek Lee. Oh, carried a long way out there to right field. Wind is absolutely no factor whatsoever here tonight. Flags hanging straight down. Came on a 2-2 pitch. Looked like a changeup up and out over the plate to Derek Lee. Now, those big strong guys, they don't have to pull the ball to hit home runs. If you get the barrel of the bat on it, Derek Lee, Ramos Ramirez, Cliff Floyd, those kind of hitters can hit them out to any part of the ballpark.
Little flare hit by Ramirez. Miles will gather it in. That home run for Derek Lee, his first on the road all year. His first 8 came at Wrigley Field. That's shocking. And we're in late July. He has slugged .626 at home, just .374 on the road. But, you know, still in the overall, I think Derek's had a very solid year. Came in hitting .335. In the running for a National League batting title. He won it a couple of years ago. Shanked by Floyd into the seats. Well, back of the Cubs dugout. 1 ball, 1 strike. Another foul, 1-2.
That's dangerous territory trying to come inside on Cliff Floyd unless you get the ball up there around the hands like Looper just did. Tough for him to get on top of that pitch. But you go down and in with the same velocity. That's a ball that Cliff can golf. Just drop that bat hit on the low pitch.
Off the plate inside. And it's 2-2.
Derek Lee's homer came on a 2-2 pitch, didn't it?
I think you might be right.
I sense a pattern developing.
Well, you called the last one. Ground ball to second. Well, you're batting .500.
I'm trying.
It's all right. Derek Lee with a home run. His 9th of the year, and the Cubs on the board. He goes oppo to make it 6-1.
Cordially invited to the event from Lexus. The summer sales event where you'll find unexpected values on the Lexus you've always wanted. But like summer, it won't last forever. The event, now through September 4th. See your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer.
We're here.
Tomorrow, run, don't walk.
No, we run.
To the Simpsons movie.
No, we walk.
Rated PG-13.
DC, Daytona. With 2 great friends, 3 great bikes. Awesome. I started on the C90. Can't wait to get it out on the open road.
S83. Fantastic.
The M109R is as bad as you want it to be. Power is incredible. This bike brings cruising to a whole new level.
Hi, I'm John Brenny. Come check out all the new Suzukis at Brenny Cycle Works in East Moline.
A new Showtime original series.
Eddie Foyer is dead.
In a place where everyone has a secret.
You don't tell a soul.
I want to get out of here.
You can't.
The only thing more dangerous than the lies.
We all have a past.
Is the truth.
You're not safe.
Meadowlands, only on Showtime. Order Showtime now and see the best shows on TV, including the new series Meadowlands, anytime on Showtime On Demand, free with your subscription.
For Bacardi Late Night on Comcast Sportsnet.
Hey, on weeknights, don't miss Chicago Tribune Live on Comcast Sportsnet. Dan Jiggett, Tribune sports writers, sports stars, and celebrities discuss the day's hottest sports topic and set the table for the night ahead. Don't miss Chicago Tribune Live weeknights at 5:30 right here on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Some changes now for the Cubs. Ronnie Cedeno comes in to play third, so Ramirez getting the rest of the night off. Billy Petrick will do the pitching. Cedeno will hit 9th. In Marquis' spot, Petrick 4th in Ramirez's spot. Yadier Molina the batter. 6-1 Cardinals. Molina sends it up the middle, base hit. Aaron Miles with a runner on, nobody out. Jason Marquis gave up 6 runs in his 5 innings. He walked 4, 5 hits, 1 strikeout, 2 home runs, 86 pitches for Marquis. Really labored in his final inning. Another base hit, first and second. And all of a sudden, the Cardinal bats have awakened.
Well, they could have waited a couple of more hours until the Brewers got here tomorrow, but stop the bleeding right here. Keep them off the board in this inning and give your offense a chance to slowly get back into this ball game.
And now Looper again will try to lay down a bunt. That's what he attempted to do in the 5th inning, but Jason Marquis couldn't throw a strike. He ended up walking Looper, and he bunts it foul.
You know, Len, a lot of times when we talk about the fundamentals of the game, I will mention that different organizations do things differently. And this is a perfect example. The Cardinals, when they send their pitcher to the plate to put down a bunt, and we've seen it throughout this series, they'll show bunt right away, then they'll pull the bat back as if they're going to swing away, and then most of the time they'll bring it back around and eventually bunt the ball. A lot of organizations want their pitcher to square and stay out there the entire time. We always liked our pitchers to hold the bat as if they were going to hit until the last moment. Boy, a mental breakdown right there.
Well, you know, I was just going to mention Ronnie Cedeno is playing third base in the major leagues for the first time in his career. I'm not sure whose responsibility it was, but Yadier Molina went to third because nobody was covering.
And Molina didn't realize it immediately. Normally, Ronnie would not charge that hard from third base unless the wheel play was on, where Ryan Theriot breaks to cover third base, and in that case Cedeno charges hard, tries to get the ball and get the lead runner at third. But that time Theriot broke for second as Cedeno broke in for the bunt, and there was nobody left to cover third base.
So is that Ronnie's responsibility to just to at least keep an eye on third base?
Well, yeah, once again, it depends on what bunt defense play you have on. But just judging from the reaction of the rest of the infielders, it looked like they were using the regular play, which on a regular play, a regular bunt defense play with runners at first and second, the third baseman reads the bunt. If he feels the pitcher can get off the mound and make the play, he retreats to third base. If he feels the pitcher can't get over there and make the play, then he comes in, picks it up, and gets the out at first.
So 1-2 on Looper. The next pitch by Petrick is too low. They're going to appeal down to first. Gary Darling said no swing.
How about this? The Cardinals have 2 stolen bases in this game, both going on Jason Kendall's numbers, and neither time he had an opportunity to throw the ball.
Yeah, you're right.
David Eckstein took off back in the 1st inning as Jason Marquis was standing stationary on the mound.
Bounced over Cedeno, and Looper picks up his 5th RBI. Seven to 1. Three straight singles to start the inning, and Larry's going to come out.
This reminds me of a daily base hit at Old Busch Stadium with the AstroTurf. Just pounds that ball off the hard dirt out in front of home plate, bounces it over Ronnie Cedeno's head into left field for a base hit.
Well, we talked over lunch once about caught stealing numbers. What if Jason Kendall had fired a strike down to third base with nobody covering?
Well, not only would Molina be credited with a stolen base, but Jason Kendall would get an error.
I mean, you wouldn't do that, but you're right. That goes on his record. And I'm sure you threw to second base a few times and nobody covered, and you were charged with an error as the runner then kept going to third.
Which created a perpetual argument with the official scorekeepers at Candlestick Park. I mean, I'll take my licks if I deserve them, but if I make a perfect throw to second base and the middle infielder happens to not cover and the ball sails into center field, that shouldn't be my error. That probably falls into that category of team errors that we talked about. There's a lot of plays like that in the game where you really shouldn't penalize one guy. But by the same token, you can't penalize the pitcher and tack another earned run onto his numbers. So I think a team error is something that the MLB is really going to have to seriously look at.
Kendall's going to go out. Time for our Coors Light cold blast to the booth.
That would feel pretty good right about now.
Yeah, it would. Callie Norton from West Chicago. Hey, LK and BB, what will it take to get you guys to shave your heads? Is it 10 wins in a row? Or if Z throws a no-hitter? Or back-to-back-to-back sweeps? Maybe you have another idea. I forgot what you guys were going to do. So did I.
The statute of limitations ran out on that deal.
3 unassisted. Eckstein's out. I think we promised Carlos, if he throws a no-hitter, that we would shave our heads. Or at least I promised on behalf of
rephrase
the
that.
tandem. And we also said, I believe it was in our first year, 2005, if the Cubs rattled off 10 straight, you would shave your goatee and I would attempt to grow one.
Well, if Big Z throws a no-hitter, I'm willing to shave the dome, and then I'll just borrow a hat from Ron. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. A lid.
Yeah.
One ball, no strikes. And Jim Edmonds. The infield is in. Pitch from Petrick. Derek Lee's going to throw to the plate. The tag applied, and Miles is out. He was going on contact, and Derek Lee nailed him. The tag applied by Kendall.
Nice play by D-Lee. Goes up the ladder to field that high chopper. Jason Kendall blocking that play, not giving Miles anywhere to go, but right into the shin guards. Nice play at the plate by Jason Kendall. And notice how he had that ball in his throwing hand. As soon as he received that ball from Derek Lee, he got the ball in his throwing hand in case Miles came in with cleats up and tried to knock it out of his glove. He could just give way with the glove and hold the ball in his bare hand.
Pujols deep right center. Back toward the wall, and it just snuck out. And for Pujols, that is a 3-run homer. His first hit of the series. He's now 1 for 12. Home run number 23.
Well, it actually came on a fastball down and in, and Pujols opened that front shoulder, but got the barrel of the bat on the ball, pulled his hands in close to his body, and just does tuck it up there in the weeds above the right center field wall. I just talked about it with Derek Lee. The big, strong guys don't always have to pull the ball to hit home runs as long as they get the barrel of the bat on the ball.
One in the fourth, 5 in the fifth, 4 more here in the sixth. And the Cardinals hanging one on Billy Petrick. They're getting to Jason Marquis for 6 runs in 5 innings. They've scored 4 off the rookie right-hander. And Albert Pujols with 4 RBIs. Duncan has 4. Roland with a solo home run. Braden Looper with an RBI. Duncan walks. Lou needs Petrick to get through this inning. With his team down 9, he needs innings. Way outside, Kendall will go out and chat with a young Billy Petrick. By the way, I'm assuming that Ramos Ramirez is fine physically. He went 0 for 3 tonight and was taken out. Petrick and Cedeno came in here in the bottom of the 6th. The Cubs were down 6-1 at the time. And now it's 10-1. I mentioned Mark DeRosa was available to pinch hit tonight, but there's pretty much no chance we'll see him now as he nurses that sore hamstring.
Well, I'll tell you, nobody in the road Grays likes to see this happen on the final game of a series here, but one guy in the Cubs uniform whose heart rate is probably going up a little bit is Jake Fox.
We'll probably see him at some point on defense. Soriano with a catch in left center. 4 more for the Cardinals, capped by the 3-run shot from Pujols. 10-1 to the 7th.
At Dell, we believe the 25 million small businesses in America deserve something more. So we're introducing Dell Vostro, customized systems, services, and expertise designed just for small business. PCs with no trialware, just the software you want. And they can be powered by Intel Core 2 Duo processors to keep you up and running fast. Plus the reassurance of Dell's new 30-day worry-free guarantee. New Dell Vostro, proof that we believe in small business.
How much are you willing to pay for happiness? At KiaMatch.com, we can help you find a life partner through our compatibility program. It's so easy. It's got everyone talking.
They matched me with a great deal on the fuel-efficient Kia Spectra, complete with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty program, and we've never been happier.
How lucky is that guy? So log on to KiaMatch.com and start getting happy.
Find your match at KiaMatch.com or visit your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Kia retailers.
Looking for the perfect way to stay in touch?
U.S. Cellular can help you keep in touch with your kids even when they're away at school. With national plans that include unlimited call me minutes, 7 p.m. nights and weekends, and free incoming text messages. Plus, get a free Samsung TG with MP3 player and Bluetooth technology when you buy one for just $29.95.
At U.S. Cellular, we'll make sure you get everything you need and nothing you don't. U.S. Cellular is wireless where you matter most.
U.S. Cellular connects with you.
Hi there, Mark and Pat along the way. Coming up on Land Rover Sports Night, the Bears arrive at training camp. At least most of them did. We'll have a full report.
Plus, Kerry Wood pitches in Peoria in a wild finish on the south side. It's all after Cubs postgame live.
When the Cubs game is over, stay tuned for Cubs postgame live on Comcast Sportsnet. All the interviews and press conferences, in-depth game highlights, and Dan Presek breaks down all the action. Cubs postgame live after the game on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Want to see a Cubs game from the front row at Wrigley Field? Now you can. Visit Cubs.com. Click on the front row auction to bid on tickets for the hottest games this summer. Cubs.com, where baseball is always on. One change for the Cardinals. Skip Schumacher is in to play left field for Chris Duncan, who hit a grand slam tonight. Fontenot hits a bounding ball, sending Pujols to his right. Looper over to cover, and he just beat Fontenot to first base. So Mike is 0 for 3, and Jock Jones will bat. He's 0 for 2. The only run for the Cubs tonight on a Derek Lee solo home run in the 6th. Kerry Wood with a scoreless 7th inning for Peoria tonight. 12 pitches, 9 strikes, 2 strikeouts. He gave up 1 hit. His fastball reaching 93, 94 tops. Henry Blanco went 1 for 2. He's now 4 for 11 in 5 games with the Chiefs, and assuming Kerry feels good tomorrow, he'll pitch again, so he'll go back-to-back days. Jake Renshaw, 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs, going for his league-leading 11th win tonight.
You know, once again, I talked to Jim Hendry before the ball game. He plans on going to see the ball game tomorrow. If Kerry Wood is good to go and able to take the ball for another inning tomorrow on back-to-back days, Jim Hendry will be there to see it with his own eyes.
The 1-2 to Jock Jones. It's low. Looper winds and deals. Missed again, 3-2. Jones draws a walk. Second walk given up by Looper. Another big crowd tonight, 45,264. And as we said, for the first time in this series, Cardinal fans louder than the Cub fans. And for the Cubs took the first two. With the day-night doubleheader coming up this weekend, Dave Duncan out to chat with Braden Looper. The Cardinals know who will pitch in those two games. They just don't know how it's going to line up. Brad Thompson and Anthony Reyes. Now Reyes is in the minor leagues, so they're going to have to bring him back. One of the options is to have Reyes start game one and then immediately send him back to the minor leagues, have a relief pitcher here who could then be called up officially between games. Jason Kendall hoists that ball into left center, not deep, and Schumacher has to come in to make the catch. Now, what if Anthony Reyes throws a no-hitter? Then they'll still send him out, right?
He'll have something to brag about when he gets back to the AAA ball club.
Now, Brandon Webb pitched a gem for you. I believe it was his major league debut, and then you sent him out.
Indeed, we had a regular day doubleheader at Shea Stadium, and called Brandon Webb up to start game one, and then immediately shipped him out to make room for Randy Johnson coming off the disabled list. Brandon Webb, I believe, struck out 10 in his major league debut at Shea Stadium, and then Randy Johnson came on to win the nightcap, a doubleheader sweep. But Brandon had a lot of phone calls to make after the ball game and a lot of stories to tell to his teammates when he got back to AAA.
7 innings of 3-hit ball, as you said, 10 strikeouts in his first major league start. Funny how the game works.
It really is. You make roster moves during the course of the season based on anticipation a lot of times. We always wanted to make sure we had plenty of healthy pitching when we went to Colorado. It was just a given that when you went to play at Coors Field, you were going to need a lot of bullpen. So generally, every time we went into Colorado, we'd make some kind of a roster move, get rid of that last guy on the bench that you probably weren't going to use anyway, and call up another pitcher just so you had yourself covered at Coors Field.
Ronnie Cedeno dunks it into left, or rather to right, in front of Encarnacion. And the Cubs have 2 on with 2 down.
Well, that pitch is down and working its way away from Ronnie Cedeno. No stride whatsoever. Head right down the barrel of the bat. Just kind of guided it out there into right field for a base hit.
And this is starting to look like a late March spring training game. Pagan will bat for Soriano. Randy Flores is up in the Cardinal pen.
I mentioned Jake Fox half an inning ago. He's the one guy over there on the Cubs bench whose heart rate was going up with every run the Cardinals score. The more lopsided the lead, the better chance Jake Fox had to get into a ball game. And as we look down into that third base dugout, he's putting his batting gloves on. I would expect him to hit for Derek Lee.
Miles with a catch. Cubs strand 2. Bottom 7. All Cardinals 10-1.
We love baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet. Stolen bases, go cheese pizza, bottled water, and Chevrolet. They go together in the good old USA. Baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet.
2007 Chevy Cobalt LS sedan starting at $13,640 after cash back. That's an 07 Cobalt sedan LS starting at $13,640 after cash back.
With every step, it gets better. Miller Genuine Draft. Cold filtered 4 times for smoother flavor.
Stop up!
Where should we sit?
Right at first base.
Wait, how about along the third baseline?
Wow, this is great. Just like having season tickets.
Looking for great seats? Buy tickets from other fans. Have extra tickets? Sell them to other fans. Go to StubHub.com today for tickets to the hottest sports, concert, and theater events, even if they're sold out.
Peanuts.
Hey, there's still tickets right behind home plate.
Peanuts.
Let's go for it. StubHub, your choice, your ticket, your experience.
StubHub!
SAP software has made running my mid-sized business much easier. Actually, I have time for lunch. It's all very glamorous.
Try Arby's new popcorn chicken shakers, made with 100% natural all-white meat chicken. Add as much or as little buffalo or barbecue sauce as you'd like, then just shake it up. So good, they'll have you saying, I'm thinking Arby's.
Now tonight's sharp Aquas detail of the game, and Bob, you were all over it. Braden Looper was trying to lay down a sac bunt. An unfortunate walk from Marquis to Looper, and then several batters later, Chris Duncan with a grand slam, a 5-run 5th inning for the Cardinals tonight.
Really changed the entire complexion of that inning. You got deeper into the middle of the Cardinals order in that inning and probably shouldn't have. And anytime you give those guys in the middle of the lineup more opportunities with runners on base, eventually they're going to bite you.
So Pagan in left, Jake Fox playing defense in the big leagues for the first time at first base. And Lou wants another inning out of Billy Petrick, even though Petrick gave up 4 in the 6th. He starts the 7th against Brendan Ryan, who was batting for Scott Rowland. Ball 1 on a heater from Petrick. Missed again inside. Boy, Petrick really working up a sweat on this hot July night in St. Louis. 3-0. Ball 4. Molina 1 for 3 with a steal and a run. Rich Hill and Bronson Arroyo tomorrow night in Cincinnati. Hill 6-6, Arroyo 4-11. Although he has pitched better lately, Bronson Arroyo had 11 losses all of last year, so he has equaled that total already. We'll have it for you on Comcast Sportsnet Plus. Game 2 of that series right here on Comcast Sportsnet Saturday night. Sean Marshall against Aaron Harang. The Reds have won Aaron Harang's last 9 starts. And as we check in on the Cubs Feldco upcoming schedule, and then on Sunday, Carlos Zambrano looking for his 14th win. Matt Belisle still penciled in for the Cincinnati Reds. There has been speculation that he possibly could be scratched from that start. And note the start time on Monday, 6 o'clock at home against the Phillies.
Even though Bronson Arroyo's 4-11 on the season, he has really handed it to the Cubs the last couple of years. They've really struggled to score runs and bunch base hits against him. It'd be nice to put some numbers up against the sidearm and right-hander.
So including tonight, 6 of the next 8 Cub games right here on Comcast Sportsnet or Comcast Sportsnet Plus. Inside corner. So a false start by Molina towards first base. Petrick with a 4-seam fastball that cuts. Goes a slider. Does have a 2-seamer. 3rd-round pick back in 2002. He's from Morris, Illinois. Back-to-back walks. Boy, it's been a struggle for Petrick. And that'll be it. So Petrick can't record an out in the 7th inning. 2 on for the Cardinals. We'll have a pitching change from St. Louis. The Cubs trail 10-1.
Quikrete Concrete. For over 60 years, it's been used by just about everyone for just about everything. Quikrete, king of the concrete jungle.
Imported Amstel Light.
You can lean on me.
Live tastefully.
You've always loved the details, but you've never seen them like this. The full HD 1080p Aquas Liquid Crystal Television from Sharp.
Feldco is offering free installation. Call for a free estimate.
Hurry, this offer ends soon.
Call 866 for Feldco.
The Cubs host the Philadelphia Phillies on Thursday, August 2nd at 1:20. Kids get to the ballpark early. The first 6,000 children 13 and younger will get an exclusive Chicago Cubs plush bear from Build-A-Bear Workshop. Compliments of Pepsi. Always a great giveaway for the youngsters. It'll be 1 week from today. Will Ullman in his 42nd appearance trying to bail out Billy Petrick here in the 7th. Miles fouls it off. Back-to-back walks. Ryan the pinch hitter and then Molina the catcher. As the Cardinals are threatening to get some more. They already lead 10-1. Other games around the National League. The Giants behind Tim Lincecum bested Atlanta 4-2. Bonds did not hit a home run today. Another foul by Miles. Houston leads San Diego 7-1 in the top of the 9th in Houston. Lee, Ensberg, and Biggio with home runs for the Astros. The Dodgers shutting out the Rockies in Colorado 5-0. In the bottom of the 5th, Brad Penny is pitching tonight. Penny trying to tie Carlos Zambrano. He has 12 wins. Zambrano has 13. It'll go 5-3 on the double play as Cedeno stepped on the bag and threw across to Jake Fox.
Perfect double play ball with runners at first and second. Leads Ronnie Cedeno right to the bag. As he fields that ball, he just has to take about another step and a half. Plenty of time to throw across to complete that double play. But this is one of those games, Len. We've talked a lot over the course of the season about the difference when your starter gets you into a position in the ball game where you can use your bullpen in an orderly fashion. Bring the guys for the matchups. Use Will Oman as the left-handed specialist. However, when you fall behind by 9 runs in a ball game, you just call down there to the bullpen and ask, who can give me a little bit here? Billy Petrick was the guy most logical. He last pitched on the 22nd against the Diamondbacks, won an inning in that ball game. So Lou was hoping to get multiple innings out of Billy Petrick tonight. When that didn't happen, the next most logical candidate was Will Oman. He did pitch the first game of this series, only 1/3 of an inning. But before that, he threw back in the San Francisco series. So Will Oman probably the second most rested pitcher in that bullpen.
And the worst outing for Petrick as a big leaguer. 3rd time he's allowed runs. And given up 2 runs in 2 of his previous 7 appearances. 2 runs each in those appearances, but charged with 4 tonight and possibly 5. As Ullman tries to strand Molina at second base. 2 balls, no strikes on the pinch hitter Ryan Ludwig, who's batting for Looper. It's low, 3-0.
Story in the local paper a couple days ago about Ryan Ludwig. And this is not unusual. It happens to a lot of guys when they get to the big leagues, but he got his first bat order and his last name was misspelled on the bats. It's been known to happen. I still have a bat at home that I got in the minor leagues that had my name misspelled.
They have an extra E.
An extra E at the end, L-E-Y, a very common mistake. And I saved one of them, broke the rest.
Do we know how it was misspelled, Ludwig?
They had a G. Instead of
Ludwig.
a CK at the end, it had a G.
Little humpback liner out to center. Jock Jones the catch. And Ullman gets out of the inning, saving Petrick's earned run average a little bit. 10-1.
With convenient flights every day, Southwest Airlines gives you the freedom to do business out of town and still come home at night.
Winston, I'm home.
Fly one of Southwest's 8 daily nonstops from Chicago Midway to the San Francisco Bay Area for just $99, including new service to San Francisco International starting August 26th.
You are now free to move about the country.
The Chicago Cubs strongly encourage the use of public transportation. The CTA offers a variety of options, including the Red Line, which stops right at Wrigley Field at the Addison Station. If you must drive, try the remote parking operation at DeVry University. Located near the Addison and Rockwell intersection, the remote lot offers parking and an express bus for just $6. For another option, try riding your bike. The Cubs provide a free bike check at the car wash at Clark and Waveland. For more details, call the CTA hotline at 773-836-7000 or visit Cubs.com.
We know you like style. We know you like performance. We thought you'd like fuel economy as well. With the Pontiac G6, you get the same highway fuel economy as Camry, with even more power. The new Pontiac, designed for action.
During the Pontiac Summer Sell-Down, get into a 2007 G6 sedan starting at $16,895. Hurry, inventory limited. For more information, visit PontiacDrive.com.
Sign up for a subscription to Vineline, the official monthly magazine of the Chicago Cubs. Vineline offers exclusive player features, team analysis, Wrigley Field news, and Cubs minor league coverage. Subscriptions start at just $24.95. Call 1-800-248-9467 or visit Cubs.com to order Vineline today. Well, Tony La Russa wants Jason Isringhausen to get an inning So he'll pitch the 8th. You don't see this very often. The Cardinals leading 10-1. And Isringhausen in here in the 8th.
Well, once again, Isringhausen last pitched on Sunday. 2 innings in that ball game. Obviously has not pitched in this series up until tonight. Tony just wants to make sure that his closer is in a good rhythm out there. Doesn't want to let him sit too long. It's been another good year for Jason Isringhausen. 4-0 with a 1.56 ERA. 23 base hits allowed in 40 1/3 innings pitched. See a lot of cutters from Jason Isringhausen, unless he's in this ball game to work on something. But normally you see a lot of cut fastballs from Isringhausen.
You have Sotaguchi now in center. Ryan Ludwig in right. Brendan Ryan at third base. And Isringhausen is on the mound. I'm having flashbacks of March.
I'm just waiting to see the pitchers get their running in on the warning track.
Also waiting to hear the announcement from the press box. Cardinals starter Braden Looper is now available in the Cardinal clubhouse. During spring training, after the starting pitcher is done, he normally speaks to the media during the game. Terrio slices it to right. Ludwig over to make the catch. And now it'll be Jake Fox. Just his second career plate appearance. First time up, he hit into a double play.
Well, if his batting practice is any indication, Jake Fox is not going to get cheated here. He has been having some very healthy rounds of batting practice while waiting an opportunity to get back on the field to play.
Isringhausen on a 1-0. Well, baseball is a great game. You could come in and face 0 hitters and pitch an inning. Come in with the bases loaded and pick off all 3 guys.
You'd be a valuable member of a bullpen if you could do that.
I don't know if that's ever happened, but you could do it. And you would be credited with an inning of work. No runs, no hits, no batters faced.
Never throw a pitch to home plate. Another one of those statistical oddities of the game.
Come in and not throw a pitch. You could throw 100 pitches and not record an out. Coy Hill into the gap. Over to get it, Ludwig. I would be curious to know what the all-time record is, and they haven't been keeping pitch counts, for that long, but what the record would be for number of pitches in an appearance without recording an out.
Picture perfect swing by Coy Hill that time on a fastball down in the zone. You see the Cubs catchers getting the bats going a little bit in this game. Jason Kendall with a couple knocks of his own tonight. Coy Hill comes up as a pinch hitter, drives the ball into the gap for a base hit.
Cliff Floyd fouled it off his foot. Man, how many times have we seen that lately?
Boy, it seems like every time Cliff Floyd gets in the lineup for 2 or 3 or 4 days in a row and just starts to get his swing going a little bit, something else happens, whether it be a collision at first base. Hopefully this won't be anything that'll keep him out of the lineup for any amount of time. But when the trainer has to come out of the dugout for a foul ball on your foot, that's not a good sign.
So he's going to try to gut it out. Staying up late.
He's concerned about Cliff and that foot.
Yeah. I got one more for you. You could come in, not throw a pitch, and get a win. Come in, pick a guy off first. Your team comes back and scores runs the next inning. You could be the winning pitcher without throwing a pitch. What a great game. Base hit through the shift. Hill makes the turn. He'll end up at third. And I'm sure that has happened before. Two on, two down.
I like the one you've talked about before, losing a no-hitter with 2 outs in the 9th inning on a base runner interference on a batted ball.
Yep.
The batter would be credited with a base hit since the runner was struck with a fair ball. The runner's out, the ball game's over. You lose the no-hitter. How weird is that?
Ground ball to first. This should do it, and it hits the runner. No-hitter, and the game's over. Wah, 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 wah. Okay, thanks for coming. Yeah, that could happen. Now, if the runner intentionally interferes with the ball, that's a different story. We've pulled out our B material tonight, haven't we?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Well, the reason is this one all over but the shouting. 10-1 Cardinals.
Introducing the Cadillac Summer Event. Right now at your Cadillac dealer, you can experience the best Cadillac has to offer and 0% APR financing across all models. The best part about summer? It's here.
Visit your Chicagoland area Cadillac dealer for this attractive offer.
Dude, are you still downloading just one song?
Don't get me started. This DSL's like the new dial-up.
Yeah, exactly. What you need is high speed from Mediacom. That's what I have. I can download music and videos in seconds. You deserve better, man. Call Mediacom now.
Get rid of that slow internet and make the move to high speed with Mediacom Online and speeds that are up to 5 times faster than DSL. Just $19.95 a month for a whole year. Call 1-800-CABLE-TV today.
Hot, sticky weather is here. You can try to cool yourself this way or go to the experts at QC Auto Service Centers. They'll keep you cool, calm, and happy all summer long. The highly trained and certified technicians at QC Auto Service Centers will check it out and fix it right the first time.
Hotter than a collar? Don't sweat it. Come see us.
The place to go for air conditioning service. QC Auto Service Centers, keeping you on the road.
Blackhawks, Cubs, and White Sox. Comcast Sportsnet.
Time now for a Cadillac Sports Update.
Luke Stuckmeyer with you. Back to St. Louis in a moment. First, a look at the Bears, who reported to training camp today. Coaches and players arriving in Bourbonnais ahead of tomorrow's first practice. Lance Briggs, who signed that one-year deal yesterday, did not show up. Lovie Smith gave Briggs permission to report on Saturday. Now back to St. Louis with Glenn and Bob.
Luke, it's 10-1 St. Louis. They're trying to salvage a finale after the Cubs took the first 2 of this set. The good news for the Cubs, Milwaukee lost today in extras at Cincinnati. Right now a game and a half out. Michael Wirtz will pitch the 8th. Top of the order for the Cardinals, Eckstein, Taguchi, and Pujols. Action around baseball underway in Phoenix. Marlins and the Diamondbacks 2-2 top of the fourth. Charged by Cedeno. The throw in time to Fox. Pirates beat the Mets 8-4 at Shea Stadium. Paul Maholm over former Pirate Oliver Perez. Nationals 7, Phillies 6. Final score. John Roush over Jose Mesa. Chad Cordero with his 20th save. Ryan Howard hit his 29th home run in a losing effort. The White Sox edged the Tigers, got a run in the bottom of the ninth and beat Detroit 4-3. Baltimore over Tampa Bay 10-7 the final. Oakland early on, middle of the second in Seattle, leading 2-0. Mark Ellis with his 12th home run. Kansas City shutting out the Yankees 5-0, last of the seventh in KC, and the Red Sox crushing Cleveland 14-9 at Jacobs Field. Manny Ramirez with 2 home runs now has 17. Willie Mopena with his 5th. Gutierrez and Garco for Cleveland hitting home runs. And it's a final now in Houston. Astros 7, Padres 1. That helps out the Cubs in the wild card. That one got away from Fox on the low throw by Terrio. Taguchi to second base.
Ryan tries to make this throw on the move. Probably would have been better served setting up a little bit. Getting that shoulder pointed toward first base and unleash a good throw. He just kind of lollipops it over there to Jake Fox, who has played some first base, but not his natural position. And you may wonder, why is Albert Pujols still in a 10-1 ball game here in the 8th inning? Well, Albert has not been swinging the bat well throughout this series. It's just been the ball game tonight where he's put a couple of good swings on the ball, and I'm sure Tony wants to get him pointed in the right direction. I mean, it'd be different if Albert was in one of his typical hot streaks. Then absolutely you get him out of the ball game, rest him for a few innings, get one of your bench guys some at bats. But Tony's trying to get Albert going again, and it looks like he is.
Yes, he is. Into the left field corner. Pagan will backhand. Taguchi's going to score easily, and it's 11-1. It'll be an unearned run. A 5 RBI night for Pujols.
Got way out in front, but you could really see him extend that swing, kind of bent over at the waist, took the top hand off the bat, reached out there and just flipped that ball into the left field corner right off the end of the bat.
By the way, Coy Hill is now playing right. So Cliff taken out after fouling that ball off his foot. Sharply struck 4-6-3 on the double play. Got a couple of notes on the Cubs on defense when we come back. 11-1.
Tonight, do the mojito with the refreshingly cool taste of the Bacardi Mojito.
This is Sparta!
By 300 on DVD.
Believe it or not, I struggled with car buying issues until my friend showed me this book. Every page is filled with helpful car advice.
It helped me get a great deal on the highest safety-rated minivan ever built, the Kia Sedona, with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty program.
Because the more you know, the less you don't know.
Now with 2.9% APR plus 500 bonus cash plus 1,000 competitive bonus.
Tonight
on the best damn sports show, period. We go behind the scenes with 16 of the hottest Hooters girls in the world as they compete for the title of Hooters Best Damn Dream Girl. Tonight at 11 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Sit, watch.
Tonight, do the mojito with the refreshingly cool taste of the Bacardi Mojito.
After the game, stick around for Cubs Post-Game Live. Get highlights of all the action and analysis from Dan Plesac. Don't miss Cubs Post-Game Live immediately following the game right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. Left-hander Randy Flores is on, trying to get the final 3 outs. With the Padres losing, right now the Cubs are tied for first in the wild card, along with San Diego and Arizona. However, trailing 11-1, assuming they don't win tonight, they would drop back to a half game out. I mentioned Arizona playing right now, looking for its 6th straight win. And those defensive notes, how about this? 3 Cubs tonight playing defensive positions for the first time in their major league career. Jake Fox playing defense for the first time at first base. Ronnie Cedeno, the first time he's ever played third. And Coy Hill playing right for the first time. In fact, prior to tonight, the only defensive position Coy Hill had ever played in the big leagues was catcher.
He does take ground balls just about every day in the infield, just to help his quickness with his feet, his lateral movement, his hand-eye coordination, and probably have to get himself an outfielder's glove now too. Hey, Coy Hill is the backup catcher. Jake Fox is in the game at first base, so you have that position covered should anything happen to Jason Kendall behind the plate. But a lot of times you'll have to do that in these kind of ball games. Put your backup catcher in at another position just to make sure if anything happens, you can get the starter out of there and bring the backup guy in from whatever position he's at to go back behind the plate.
Well, it behooves the catchers the Cubs have now have not grabbed the job offensively. Kendall's going to ground out to short. Henry would not get an opportunity, so if he comes back, and hopefully he will, they're going to have to make a decision. And you know what you're going to get from Henry. I mean, you're going to get excellent defense, good throwing arm. He'll handle the staff well, call a good game, and probably won't hit a lot. I mean, last year had his best offensive year at the plate.
Occasional pop. You may remember last year when Michael Barrett was serving his suspension for that brawl with the White Sox. Henry Blanco had his hottest streak of the season at the time Michael Barrett was serving his suspension. But Henry's primary value to the Cubs and any ball club that he's played for throughout his career is what he does back there behind the plate.
Yeah, and anything you get offensively is gravy. Now 1-2. Cubs have already won this series, but 1 strike away from losing the finale and dropping to 2 back in the National League Central. But they won't lose any ground when you add up the day as the Brewers lost. Ronnie's still alive.
So we showed you those numbers in the open of the show. The Cubs playing the best ball in the major leagues since June 3rd, and it came out to approximately 2 games out of 3. They were winning 2 games out of 3. That's been the mantra all season. Win series.
A line out to third. Brendan Ryan with a catch. And the Cardinals take a laugher 11-1. But the Cubs get 2 of 3, which is always the goal. And now they'll head to Cincinnati to take on a Reds club that's played pretty well lately. Big night for Albert Pujols. He started the series 0 for 11, but finished tonight with 5 RBIs in his last 3 plate appearances. And for the first time in his major league career, Jason Marquis has lost a decision to the St. Louis Cardinals, now 3-1. And I think one of the big stories tonight, Bob, was Braden Looper coming off his shortest outing, 7 innings, gave up just 1 run and really kept the Cubs offense down tonight.
Oh, no question about it. I mean, you talk about scattering hits. He gave up 5 hits in the ball game, but never more than 2 in an inning. The Cubs just never got anything going offensively against the right-hander.
Now the Nissan drive of the game. Not much doubt about it. This one really put this game out of reach. The grand slam by Chris Duncan in the 5th inning. And it went from 2-0 to 6-0 St. Louis, and the Cardinals would roll tonight. 11-1 the final. So it took 2 hours 40 minutes. Braden Looper over Jason Marquis in front of 45,264. And that'll do it for our game coverage tonight. Stay tuned for post-game live coming up. Once again, the final score, the Cardinals 11, the Cubs 1. Our next Cubs telecast will be tomorrow night, 6 o'clock Central Time on Comcast Sportsnet Plus from Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. Rich Hill against Bronson Arroyo on the mound. For Bob Brenly, Len Casper. I want to mention in-game scoring provided by ScorePad. Thanks for watching. You have been watching Chicago Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet. Good night from St. Louis.
And hello from Chicago. Mark Shanowski and Pat Boyle back on our Comcast Sportsnet studios. Dan Plezak isn't singing Go Cubs Go tonight,
he's not, isn't he?
But he will provide expert analysis on Postgame Live next.
Go get him tomorrow. Then stick around for Land Rover Sports Night. Football season officially underway here in Chicago. The Bears arriving at training camp today. We'll tell you why Lance Briggs not among the players arriving in Bourbonnais.
He's counting his money. And our special story with Rex Grossman, how the Bears quarterback has some unfinished business after last year's Super Bowl loss.
Plus, Kerry Wood throws his customary 12 pitches tonight in Peoria. We'll show you some of them and recap a wild finish on the south side.
That and a whole much more on Land Rover Sports Night after Cubs Post Game Live with Luke Stuckmeyer and Dan Plezak after the break.
A shift has been made. Now power isn't sacrificed to achieve fuel efficiency. And cars that perform great on the road also perform great at the pump. Introducing the 36-mile-per-gallon Nissan Versa, 36-mile-per-gallon Sentra, 35-mile-per-gallon Altima. 3 powerful Nissan sedans with 35 miles per gallon or higher. All with 0.7% APR financing. Now, when you think power and fuel efficiency, think Nissan.
Because Geico sounds like gecko. That's it. That's the only reason I'm here. The fact is, if Geico sounded like some other animal, like, I don't know, a puma, sure enough, there'd be some adorable little cat sitting here talking about Geico's low rates.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
You can't even imagine the pressure. I mean, I've literally got like 2 seconds to capture your attention while simultaneously informing you that you could save hundreds on car insurance by switching to Geico. Quite frankly, I don't think it's even possible.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Honey, I think this might be our lucky day.
I think it might be.
I think this is what we've been waiting for.
I think it is.
Yes!
It turned blue!
Introducing the Coors Light Cold Activated Bottle. The mountains turn from white to blue when your beer reaches the perfect temperature.
It's blue like your eyes.
My eyes are green.
Only from Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
The 2007 Chevy Impala has something Toyota and Honda don't. The GM 100,000-mile warranty. And OnStar, with help at the push of a button. And diagnostic checks emailed to you every month. Impala has you covered for the road ahead. Qualified lessees get a low-mileage lease on an 07 Chevy Impala LT for around $199 a month. Residency restrictions apply. Call for details. Qualified lessees get a low-mileage lease on an 07 Impala 1LT for around $199 a month.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by LoJack, the only stolen vehicle recovery system operated by the police. Bacardi Rum, if you're going to drink, be responsible. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. And by Pontiac, 9 performance machines, all designed for action.
one on the chin, 11-1 in St. Louis, but they take 2 out of 3 from the Cardinals in the series. Hello and welcome to Cubs Postgame Live alongside a guy who pitched 18 years in the big leagues, Dan Plesac. I'm Luke Stuckmeyer. Dan, 2 out of 3, Cubs will take it, but this was not a pretty game tonight.
No, it wasn't a pretty game, but really, if you're going to lose a game, it's certainly a little bit easier when you lose 11-1 as opposed to one of those gut-wrenching games that you have some missed opportunities, you don't make a big pitch, make a good defensive play. This was just a case of a little bit too much Brandon Looper, and Jason Marquis just wasn't able to stop the bleeding. You could really boil that whole inning down to, I think the key to the inning was he had a man on first, nobody out, and pitcher Brandon Looper up. You know their sacrifice bunting, and unfortunately he walked Brandon Looper to put himself really behind the 8 ball, and that led to a really big inning.
Can't walk the pitcher, that's for sure. Time now for that Feldco pitching recap. Marquis against Looper. You look at that 5 innings from Marquis. The strange thing about this guy is, Dan, some days he's great, and the other days he's bad. There seems to be no middle ground with Marquis. You know what you're going to get pretty early in the game.
Well, you know, the thing that's been interesting is he's pitched 2 of the biggest games that this team has played in this run. The game before the All-Star break against the Brewers, which I thought was the biggest game of the season for the Cubs, pitched 8 innings, 1 earned run, and he was terrific. And his last start was really a big start for this team. You know, starting to creep back in towards getting closer to the Milwaukee Brewers. But he just seems to have that 1 inning where he can't stop the bleeding. And this was really the demise right here. A 3-ball, 2-strike count on Brandon Looper, the opposing pitcher. Then he had Jim Edmonds, 1-2, missed a pitch, 2-2 that was a close borderline pitch that he didn't get. Walked that setup, that loaded the bases, and then he hits Albert Pujols right here on a fastball on a 1-0 count. And it just tells you that you're a little bit rattled when you're hitting somebody on a 1-ball, no-strike count. That ball is you're either trying to really be really fine, and then here it looks like, I'm not sure if this is a breaking ball, something off speed to Chris Duncan. He leaves out over the outer third of the plate, and he's able to drive that ball out of the ballpark in right center field.
On the other hand, Looper had the Cubs kind of baffled tonight. The bats weren't really going for the Cubs either.
Well, you know, as a case, you know, you look at the Cardinals records and you look at earned run average, but Brandon Looper's a guy that has had a lot of success in the past, primarily being today, the Cubs, instead of catching the Padres, remain a half game back in the wild card. Now, as we go to break, let's check out our Pontiac opinion poll tonight. Where do you think the Cardinals will finish in the division this year when it's all said and done? First place, second place, third place, fourth, or worse? Go to ComcastSportsNet.com, click on Chicago, then on the Cubs page, and vote. We will have results a little bit later.
For every Cubs victory this season, National City is proud to make a donation to Rhino Kid Care. Please visit RhinoKidCare.com.
Yeah, you know the spot.
Right away, sir.
Welcome to Giordano's. Your table's ready.
Thank you.
How's everything?
Fantastic.
What's your secret?
It's the fresh ingredients, and it's been so for the last 30 years.
We made it good. You made it famous.
A shift has been made. Now power isn't sacrificed to achieve fuel efficiency. And cars that perform great on the road also perform great at the pump. Introducing the 36-mile-per-gallon Nissan Versa, 36-mile-per-gallon Sentra, 35-mile-per-gallon Altima. 3 powerful Nissan sedans with 35 miles per gallon or higher. Lease the 2007 Nissan Altima for $229 per month. Now, when you think power and fuel efficiency, think Nissan.
I'm Ryan Sandberg, asking you to help cheer up kids in hospitals.
When children suffer from serious medical conditions, Rhino Kid Care, supported by Ryan Sandberg and National City, helps them and their families cope. Join the cause. Four Seasons, the largest family-owned and operated heating and air conditioning contractor, has simple goals: provide exceptional service at the best possible price and offer products that leave you nothing but satisfied. Call Four Seasons Heating and Air Conditioning today for a free estimate.
Do you want to talk to me?
Then you'd better pay attention.
Because I may be the one you're looking for.
You know, the one who's interested in buying what you have to sell.
And chances are, you'll only find me with cable because more people like me are watching the channels that mean something to them.
They don't find that with broadcast.
And you may not find me with broadcast.
Get it.
with cable.
Want better value, precision, and results from your advertising? Call On Media today.
DC, Daytona. With 2 great friends, 3 great bikes. Awesome. I started on the C90. Can't wait to get it out on the open road.
S83. Fantastic.
The M109R is as bad as you want it to be. Power is incredible. This bike brings cruising to a whole new level.
Hi, I'm John Brenny. Come check out all the new Suzukis at Brenny Cycle Works in East Moline.
Nestled deep in the rolling hills of Scott County Park is one of the area's premier golfing experiences. Rated 4 stars by Golf Digest magazine, Glens Creek features 18 holes of championship golf that will test the talents of players of all skill levels. The clubhouse features a full range of golf accessories, and with custom fittings for both Titleist and Ping and personalized instruction, the professionals at Glens Creek can help you find the equipment and the game that's just right for you. You've played the rest, now play the best. Call Glens Creek for your tee time today.
Homers in that span, and Orioles ace Eric Bedard 2-0, 19 strikeouts in his last 2 starts. Who's not? Russell Martin, 5 hits in his last 32 at bats, and Kenny Rogers of the Tigers, 12 runs in his last 10 innings. Well, that's not good.
I've been on that street. That's a rough street to be riding. I mean, that's a rough riding street.
You're not feeling good about yourself.
Not sleeping a whole lot either.
Welcome back to Cubs Postgame Live. Dan Plesac and Luke Stuckmeyer with you. Take a look at the pitching matchup today, and you talk about Jason Marquis, and when he loses control of his pitches, he really starts to struggle. And that seems what happened maybe in the 5th inning tonight.
And it seems at times, Luke, when he's throwing the ball really well, the pace of the game, the tempo of the game moves nice and quick. When he starts getting into a little bit of trouble, it's almost like he's starting to overanalyze, overthink, and he just is a little bit more deliberate between pitches. And I think when that happens, you start to lose your command, you lose your rhythm. Here, a fastball on a 3-2 pitch to Braden Looper, the opposing pitcher, on a 3-2 pitch. You know, obviously in that situation, you know everybody in the ballpark knows that he's bunting. Was able to get ahead of Jim Edmonds in that 1-ball, 2-strike. Was a pitch that was a borderline pitch he didn't get, lost Edmonds. And then here, a 1-ball, no-strike count, a fastball up and in. I know you want to pitch Pujols in, but I think at times you lose your arm slot. You start to slow down, you start to think, you start to overanalyze, and bad things happen.
Talent is the most important thing in the big leagues. Is confidence number 2, whether you're a pitcher or a hitter?
You know, they go hand in hand, and there are several really good pitchers. And I know this sounds like a crazy statement, but I really believe this, and I really believe that Greg Maddux has done more with less than any pitcher in the last 50 years. Greg Maddux was never blessed with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, never had a trick pitch. He's got a good combination of a good fastball, a terrific changeup. But one thing Greg Maddux has, he has a lot of confidence, he has a lot of savvy, and he's very calm and collected on the mound.
Take a look at this board on Jason Marquis. The first time through that Cardinals lineup, the Cardinals were just 1 for 9, no runs, there were no walks. The second and third time through the lineup, Cardinals hit .444. They went 4 for 9 with 2 homers, 6 ribbies, and 4 walks. So you see the control started to go away later in the game.
And a lot of times, if you look at a graphic like that, we'll tell you sometimes is a pitcher doesn't necessarily trust his stuff and trust what he's doing. A lot of times you'll go through a lineup as a starting pitcher and you'll zip through the first 3 innings and you feel like you have to make some changes because they're going to make adjustments to you. And one of the things as a pitcher, you have to make the hitters make the adjustment to you. You continue to throw pitches, and at times it begins to be a psychological game that you play if you pitch an Albert Pujols the same way all the time. And the results are good, that in the back of your mind you're wondering, is he going to go up there looking for that fastball on the inner third of the plate? And sometimes you talk yourself into pitching him backwards.
Well, the Cubs lose tonight, but they do take 2 out of 3 against the Cardinals as we go to break. Let's take a look at your StubHub upcoming schedule for the Cubs. It's on the road next. 3 games in Cincinnati, including tomorrow's right here on Comcast Sportsnet Plus. Then the Cubs return home to take on the Phillies. We'll be right back.
The upcoming schedule is brought to you by StubHub, where fans buy and sell tickets.
A shift has been made. Now power isn't sacrificed to achieve fuel efficiency. And cars that perform great on the road also perform great at the pump. Introducing the 36-mile-per-gallon Nissan Versa, 36-mile-per-gallon Sentra, 35-mile-per-gallon Altima. 3 powerful Nissan sedans with 35 miles per gallon or higher. Lease the 2007 Nissan Altima for $229 per month. Now, you think power and fuel efficiency. Think Nissan.
We believe small business technology should work as hard as you do. We believe that you're big enough for custom-built solutions. And your computer company should always be there to answer your questions.
How can I help you?
At Dell, we believe in giving you advice, customized technology, and support to do amazing things. Our partnership should never be based solely on what's inside a box. It should be defined by the people who stand behind it. Dell, we believe in small business.
If ever you're not satisfied with one of our tires, please feel free to bring it back. Thank you. Discount Tire Company.
Low prices, more choices on the world's best brands like Michelin and B.F. Goodrich.
Division, and you went online and voted. 55% say the Cardinals will probably be third place in the Central Division. All right, welcome back to Cubs Postgame Live. Luke Stuckmeyer and Dan Plesac wrapping things up. Let's take a look at tomorrow's pitching matchup as the Cubs go to Cincinnati. Bronson Arroyo against Rich Hill. Arroyo was 4-0 against the Cubs last year. He's 0-2 against them this year. Rich Hill, on the other hand, 1 run in 6 innings last start. Dan, what does he have to do tomorrow quickly?
Really, what he needs to do is establish his fastball early for strikes. It enables him to use that big curveball. And Bronson Arroyo has given the Cubs a lot of trouble in the past, particularly swinging the bat. So Cubs have to bring their A-game with them tomorrow. He can be tough at times.
Cubs lose big tonight, 11-1 for Dan Plesac and our entire crew. I'm Luke Stuckmeyer. Thanks for watching Cubs Postgame Live. Sports Night is next with Pat Boyle and Mark Shanowski. They have the latest on the Bears who reported to training camp. We'll see you later.
Feldco is offering free installation. Call for a free estimate.
Hurry, this offer ends soon.
Call 866 for Feldco.
Free installation at Feldco can save you hundreds, even thousands. Call now.
Call 866 for FEL. DCO.
It's Feldco's biggest sale of the year. Feldco is offering free installation. Save thousands on replacement windows with no interest or payments till next year. Call for a free estimate and free installation.
Hurry, this offer ends July 31st.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Believe it or not, I struggled with car buying issues until my friend showed me this book. Every page is filled with helpful car advice. It helped me get a great deal on the highest safety-rated minivan ever built, the Kia Sedona, with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty program. Because the more you know, the less you don't know.
Now with 2.9% APR plus 500 bonus cash plus 1,000 competitive bonus.
I'm Ryan Sandberg, asking you to help cheer up kids in hospitals.
When children suffer from serious medical conditions, Rhino Kid Care, supported by Ryan Sandberg and National City, helps them and their families cope. Join the cause.
Grab the new Sun-Times and get the real Chicago story every day. Subscribe at suntimes.com. Chicago Sun-Times. Let's get into it.
With every step, it gets better. Miller Genuine Draft. Cold filtered 4 times for smoother flavor.
Seriously, 4 feet by 5 feet. Well, apparently not, because I'm looking right at it.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Are you serious?
Just give it a try. Role play.
What's your name? He doesn't say anything because he's a doll.
Geico.com. So easy, a caveman can do it.
Try Arby's new popcorn chicken shakers, made with 100% natural all-white meat chicken. Add as much or as little buffalo or barbecue sauce as you'd like, then just shake it up. So good, they'll have you saying, I'm thinking Arby's.
Hi, I'm Ryan Dempster of the Chicago Cubs, and you're watching Comcast Sportsnet.
Coming up on Sports Night.
I feel like we're more ahead than we were last year.
The Bears arrive in Bourbonnais, but not everyone is thrilled to be there.
I'm still pretty upset with it. We're just one quarter away from taking that next step to be world champions.
So close to winning a Super Bowl. Just what can Rex do to get the Bears over that final hurdle? Plus, while the Cubs look for the sweep in St. Louis, Kerry Wood finds the mound again in the minors, making the tough catches on Sports Night now.
This is Sports Night, presented by Land Rover.
And that is Brian Urlacher arriving in Bourbonnais at 9:40, just over a half hour ago, way ahead of the midnight deadline. But the Pro Bowl linebacker did miss the team's NFC Championship ring ceremony. We're ringing in a new NFL season next on Sports Night. What's up? Welcome to Land Rover Sports Night with Mark Shanowski. I am Pat Boyle. We'll have Cubs clubhouse reaction to their loss in St. Louis in just a bit, and the Sox come up with the rare bunt off.
Yeah, you don't see that every day. And our William Jackson was there to greet Brian Urlacher. He didn't have the matching pocket square that you talked about with the shirt.
He'll get that later on.
Seems to be good. There is one unhappy Bear. Yeah, Alex Brown coming to camp carrying another kind of baggage than what you see here.
I'm still pretty upset with it, but it's not my call. It's not my team, so what I do, they tell me what to play, and that's what I do.
Brown upset he lost his starting job to second-year player Mark Anderson, so he'll use this camp to try and win his job back before the season opener in San Diego.
Go through training camp and make plays, I guess. I mean, I don't see where that would be any different from what I've been doing, but we'll see. We'll see what happens the last day. We'll see if I can get on the field a little more. See if I can start. I can add on to the, I guess, 65, 70 games I've started in a row, so we'll see.
But all in all, after making a Super Bowl run, all the guys are looking forward to practice on Friday and getting back on the field, especially Ruben Brown.
At my age, yeah, you got to look forward to everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm excited. I think everyone is. You know, tonight we're going to get our rings, and, you know, that's something we're all real proud of, but we have one more step to take, and this is the first process in order to get in there. So, you know, we're all excited about that.
But the highlight of day number one had to be the Bears' ring presentation. After leaving the private ceremony, the players seemed to be very impressed.
Just to see how much of a team effort it was for everybody, coaches, players, staff, organization, from the top to the bottom, that everybody had a hand in it. And, you know, we had an opportunity to give thanks.
But in order to get the true appreciation of what the ring is all about, we had to go to one of the team captains, Musa Muhammad, who helped design the ring.
We came up with some new, different ideas, and I think it turned out great. The thing that makes this ring so unique is the design, and it has the contour of the stadium. And so, you know, plenty of diamonds, plenty of bling-bling. You got to love that.
In Bourbonnais with the Bears, William Jackson, Comcast Sportsnet.
Moose now designing rings.
Moose pretty much does it all. Yeah, designs rings, got his own website.
TV show, yeah.
He's got
one-stop shopping. Yeah. Well, you've just looked at some key dates coming up. The Bears will practice at Soldier Field, the annual Family Day on Sunday, August 5th. August 11th, the first preseason game in Houston, and the final preseason contest August 30th at home against the Browns. And then the regular season begins September 9th at San Diego. Of course, the Chargers had the best record in the NFL last season. And coming up later in the show, our special report on the quarterback, Rex Grossman. Rex knows he has some unfinished business after last year's Super Bowl defeat.
We had our chances in the fourth quarter of that Super Bowl, and we're just one quarter away from taking that next step to be world champions. So it's my job right now to do everything I possibly can to get to that level.
To baseball now. Before tonight's game in St. Louis, Lou Piniella inferred that the Cubs may not make a move before Tuesday's trade deadline, saying, quote, "We're not going to make a trade just to make a trade." And that right-handed bat that Lou has been lobbying for the last few weeks could be Matt Merton, who's been picking up the pace down in AAA Iowa. As for the Cubs, well, the pace wasn't great tonight. Trying for their first three-game sweep in St. Louis since '88. Marquee on the mound against the team that left him off the playoff roster a year ago. Already beat him twice this season, but the positive karma wasn't flowing tonight. That Scott Rowland ball is flowing. His sixth on the year makes it 1-0 Cards. St. Louis would open up a can in the fifth inning with one on. St. Louis starter Braden Looper trying to bunt, but Marquis walks him there. Later in the inning, Marquis walks Jim Edmonds to load him up for Albert Pujols. And Marquis, he plugs Pujols. Aaron Miles played, so it's 2-0 St. Louis. Next batter is Chris Duncan. Ouch.
That's trouble.
Grand slam for Duncan. Second slam of his career, 20th jack of the season. Gives the Cards a 6-love lead. Top of 6, D. Lee at the plate against Looper. How you doing? Going opposite field. Just his 9th dinger on the year. Cubs trying to mount a comeback at 6-1. But in the bottom of the 6th with 2 on, Fat Albert sends it oppo. First hit of the series for him. Started at 0 for 11. Ends up with 5 ribbies tonight as the Cubs can't close out the sweep. 11-1 was your final. Still to come on Comcast Sportsnet. We'll have a crew from St. Louis provide us Cubs clubhouse reaction to tonight's loss at New Busch. A costly 5th inning took a 1-0 game and made it a blowout. And a programming reminder, tomorrow night, the Cubs and Reds are right here on Comcast Sportsnet. They're on Comcast Sportsnet Plus. That's CLTV if you have Comcast cable in the Chicagoland area. First pitch, 6:10 from Cincinnati. Meanwhile, Kerry Wood threw 12 pitches again tonight in Peoria, topping out at 93 and 94 miles an hour on the radar gun. He faced 4 batters, striking out 2, giving up a single. If Wood reports no problems, he's scheduled to pitch again tomorrow in Peoria, and Cubs GM Jim Henry plans on attending that one.
With no Bud Selig, I take.
No, I'm sure not.
The commissioner won't be there. Back to the majors. Cincinnati looking to take 3 out of 4 from the first-place Brewers. Bottom of the 9th, Scott Hatteberg base hit. Norris Hopper comes in to score the tying run. A blown save from Milwaukee All-Star closer Francisco Cordero. Bottom of the 10th, Reds need 1 to win, and Javier Valentin delivers. Adam Dunn scores Valentin's 2nd game-winning hit of the series. Reds knock off the Brew Crew 6-5.
Padres led the wild card by a half game at the beginning of the night. San Diego at Houston. Bottom first, El Caballo, Carlos Lee taking David Wells out and gone. 2-run jack. His 21st makes it 2-1. Next batter, Morgan Ensberg. Long fly to left. That's a solo job. Back-to-back, Astros win it easy. 7-1 is your final. So here's a look at your NL Central standings and the wild card picture up to the 2nd. So the Brewers lose and the Cubs lose. Still 2 games back in that situation. In the wild card scenario, the Padres and Diamondbacks are currently tied, although Arizona is playing right now. The Cubs now a half game behind the Padres for the NL Mulligan. One of those wild card hopefuls, the Phillies, who will be at Wrigley on Monday. Well, their playoff chances took a hit today. All-star second baseman Chase Utley suffered a broken right hand when Nationals pitcher John Lannon hit him today. Both the Phillies and Utley insist the injury will not finish his season. Chase said, quote, "I'll be back. Don't worry, guys."
And now to the White Sox. Ozzie Guillen has watched his team lose close games in just about every way you can imagine this season. So you can only imagine the Sox skipper's relief when he saw the first-place Tigers give one away out at U.S. Cellular Field this afternoon. It's the finale of a 5-game series between the AL Central rivals. Rookie John Danks on the mound for the home team. Danks looks strong early. He gets Chicago native Curtis Granderson swinging. 2 batters later, Ryan Rayburn whiffs and misses. He had 7 ribbies last night, nothing today. Danks retired the first 8 hitters he faced, but then the 9th hitter, he gets it. Omar Infante ends the streak in a big way. Home run there, it's 1-0 Tigers. To the bottom of the 4th, 2 on for Scott Posednik, now batting a little bit lower in the order. He slaps this one into the left field corner. A.J. Pierzynski scores to tie the game at 1. Posednik speeds into second with a double. He's had some big hits since coming back to the Sox lineup off the DL. Next batter, Josh Fields, grounds into the aptly named Fielder's Choice. Jermaine Dye scores, and the Sox grab the lead. It's now 2-1 good guys. Top of the 6th inning now, 1 on for All-Star second baseman Placido Polanco. He shoots one down the right field line. Infante comes in to score, and we're all tied up at 2, a back-and-forth kind of game. Later in the inning, Mike Hessman hits a hard liner off the glove of Fields with 2 outs. That scored a base hit. Polanco scores. The Tigers are in front 3-2. Top of the 7th inning now, and Danks in some trouble. 2 on, 1 out. He gets Granderson swinging again. That would be the end of Danks' afternoon. He goes 6 2/3 innings, allowing 3 runs on 6.
Razor around the third. Boy, he gets pumped up. He gets excited to wave guys around. So, you know, it's exciting. That's the type of ball that I'm going to play is that running game. So it's fun to get out there and open it up a little bit.
You can probably count the total of sacrifice bunts on one hand that I've had. You know, mainly in Double-A with Razor, but you know, I haven't done it lately. But it's one of those things that they preach to you in the minor leagues. You know, you got to be ready to do, because although you hit 3 and 4 in Triple-A or wherever, you're going to come up here, you're going to hit 8 and 9.
A win like this leads the Sox to think about the ifs. If Podsednik hadn't missed 80 games, if the team hadn't lost confidence, then maybe they could have been this excited more often, because the excitement is obviously still inside them.
It shows what this ball club is capable of. You know, I think that's kind of the way they drew it up in spring training, was a team that's going to go out there and battle. We did that, like I mentioned earlier, we came from behind late a couple of times. So this team has heart. It's just a matter of bringing it out of us, digging down deep and getting it back.
I always say, is no matter what happened the night before, the next day is the one that count. You know what I mean? I think we take it one day at a time, and hopefully for the best.
And the Sox have saved their best for the Central Division leaders. They've won 2 series, 5 of 8 games over the past 11 days from the Indians and the Tigers. And they continue to befuddle Detroit. They lead this year's season series after taking last year's set 12 games to 7, while the Tigers trounced everyone else on their way to the American League pennant. And they still have 9 games left with Detroit, including the final 3 of the year here at U.S. Cellular Field. With the White Sox, Josh Moore on Comcast Sportsnet.
Thanks, Josh. Tomorrow night, Frank Thomas and the Toronto Blue Jays come to the South Side, and you can watch every pitch right here on Comcast Sportsnet in high definition. John Garland gets the start at 7:11, followed by White Sox postgame live with Bill Melton.
Still to come on this show, William Jackson spends a day with Rex Grossman and finds out the Bears quarterback is hoping to learn some things from last year's roller coaster campaign.
My goal next season is A, win the Super Bowl, and B, win NFC North and play consistently, and give our offense and our playmakers around me a chance to do what they do.
And later, instead of hearing the cheers of Falcons fans at training camp today, Michael Vick enters a Virginia courtroom to a chorus of boos. We'll have the latest.
But now it's time for the Land Rover Big Question. Before Scott Rowland's blast tonight, there were no homers in the first 2 games of the series. Tonight's question is, when was the last time the Cubs and Cardinals went homerless in consecutive games? We'll have the answer after this timeout.
Land Rover Sports Night is brought to you by your local Land Rover dealers. The adventure begins at your Illinois Land Rover retailer today.
The Range Rover for 2007, designed for the extraordinary. Visit your local Land Rover Center.
Hey, boss, do we have Aflac?
Yeah, we have something else.
But if you're hurt and miss work, does it pay cash like Aflac does?
Nah.
Or let you spend it any way you want, like for gas and groceries?
Nah.
Or help with everyday bills like Aflac does?
Nah.
There's only one Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Nice try, boss.
Nah.
Stop, Hub! Where should we sit?
Right at first base.
Wait, how about along the third baseline?
Wow, this is great. Just like having season tickets. Looking for great seats? Buy tickets from other fans. Have extra tickets? Sell them to other fans. Go to StubHub.com today for tickets to the hottest sports, concert, and theater events, even if they're sold out.
Peanuts. Hey, there's still tickets right behind home plate.
Let's go for it. StubHub, your choice, your ticket, your experience.
StubHub!
Tomorrow, the homestand rolls on for Jim Thome and the White Sox when they open a series with Frank Thomas and the Blue Jays in high def, followed by U.S. Cellular White Sox postgame live. White Sox Blue Jays tomorrow at 7 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Arlington Lexus and Palatine sequel has no equal. Always the best service with our Arlington Advantage. Service open until 11 p.m. weekdays. Over 40 service loaners, complimentary car washes, and much more, including outstanding deals. Right now, get into an IS 250 for only $339 a month. Be the first on your block to get the all-new, more powerful 08 RX 350.
Bob Rohrman's Arlington Lexus and Palatine, 1 block west of Route 53 on Dundee Road.
You're watching the home of the Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, and White Sox. Comcast Sportsnet.
High blast. Cliff Floyd already back at the wall, and that is a grand slam for Chris Duncan.
Yes, it is. Len Casper. Duncan slam in the 5th inning as the Cards scored 5 runs on just 2 hits, chasing Jason Marquis. Went 5 frames, gave up 6 earned, had 4 walks. Marquis suffers his first loss against his old mates. Drops to 7-6 on the year. Lou breaks down the 5th.
The big walk was the one
Ready? It is.
with their pitcher, Looper, just trying to bunt. Just let them bunt. They get an out, they get a run, it's a 2-0 ball game, you know? But now all of a sudden, Eckstein lays down a good bunt, and now you got Edmonds and another walk, and then you hit Pujols, and then the other kid hits it into the bullpen, and it's 6-0 before you know it. Anyway, wasn't a good game.
And now they move on to Lou's old stomping grounds in Cincinnati. Before the break, we asked the Land Rover big question. When was the last time the Cubs and Cardinals went homerless in consecutive games? Didn't happen tonight. The answer is 1991, September 29th, and then the next time those two got together on October 5th. We do the big question every night at 10 o'clock.
Questions have been awfully difficult lately. Back to the NFL. Michael Vick pleaded not guilty this afternoon to federal dogfighting charges in Richmond, Virginia. His trial is scheduled to start on November 26th. No word yet on when or if Vick will be able to resume his football career with the Atlanta Falcons. Not like the Falcons quarterback is doing well in the court of public opinion. Vick and 3 other men entered their pleas to conspiracy charges involving competitive dogfighting, procuring and training pit bulls for fighting, and conducting that enterprise across state lines. Vick's attorney, Billy Martin, read a statement from Vick after the arraignment this afternoon.
Today in court, I pleaded innocent to the allegations made against me. I take these charges very seriously and look forward to clearing my good name. I respectfully ask all of you to hold your judgment until all of the facts are shown. Above all, I would like to say to my mom, I'm sorry for what she has had to go through in this most trying of times. It has caused pain to my family, and I apologize to my family.
Don't expect Michael Vick back with the Falcons anytime soon. We already knew Titans cornerback Adam Pac-Man Jones had been suspended for the upcoming season by NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell for his numerous run-ins with the law. Today, the league denied Pac-Man's request to take part in training camp. Jones will only be permitted to use the team's facility 1 day a week for treatment and counseling.
Coming up on Sports Night, the Bears have a new motto heading into this season, a slogan that Rex can relate to from his high school days in Bloomington.
I just kind of, had a smile, on my face when I saw it. And, that's the mentality, the same mentality we have right now as, in the locker room is we're hungry to, reach the top of that mountain. And we're excited to get there.
One half-ton pickup has the best warranty of any other, the best fuel economy of any other, not to mention the highest possible front crash test rating. Makes you wonder why you'd want any other truck. The all-new redesigned GMC Sierra.
It's the GMC Summer Sell-Down on a great selection of 07 models. Right now, get 0% APR or $2,000 total cash back when you purchase an all-new 07 Sierra 1500 Extended or Crew Cab. For more information, visit gmcdrive.com.
We're America's largest refiner.
And some of the vehicles we fuel don't travel on roads. For those that do, we make some of the cleanest gasoline on the planet. And every drop is performance guaranteed. And our employees contribute over 200,000 hours a year in our communities. We know you probably don't think about these things when you think of Valero. That's okay, just as long as when you do think of us, you think of this. Valero, the energy to take you anywhere.
Menards is your landscaping headquarters. Spruce up your landscaping with edgers and lava rock. Interlock edgers are great for straight or curved borders. Just dig, then place the edgers and finish. In 4 colors, interlock edgers are only 79 cents each. Add color with red lava rock or red lava pebbles. Great for flower beds or any landscaping project. Your choice, just $2.89 a bag. Helping make landscaping jobs easy. Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
You choose the program, you choose the time on Showtime On Demand.
I like you already.
This month, New York Post says The Tudors is a 4-star series.
I am the sun!
Catch the thrilling conclusion early on Showtime On Demand. And don't miss Queen Latifah in Last Holiday, plus Elite Extreme Combat. Over 130 movies and shows are at your command.
It's show business.
Demand the best anytime with Showtime On Demand.
Attention employers, here's a better way to find local employees fast. We're Better Quad City Jobs, and we advertise on television every day. Better QC Jobs is the faster, easier way to find employees, and it costs less than old-fashioned classified newspaper ads. Employers save time, save money, and get quick results by using BetterQCJobs.com. So get on the internet and post your jobs on BetterQCJobs.com. It's free for job seekers and good for business.
Blackhawks, Cubs, and White Sox. Comcast Sportsnet.
You know, the Colts did a great job of handling all the weather factors, and you know, they played hard. So, but there were definitely opportunities for us to take that game, and we didn't.
And the opportunities are never bigger when it's the Super Bowl. Rex threw that touchdown pass to Musa Muhammad. The Bears had a 14-6 lead after one, but it was all downhill after that as Rex threw 2 picks and lost a fumble.
Seems like that game was only a few weeks ago.
My suit still hasn't dried out, I don't think.
I threw some things away after that game. As usual, Grossman spent a good chunk of his offseason at Hallis Hall studying film and also working on his footwork with new quarterbacks coach Pep Hamilton. William Jackson tells us the fifth-year pro is ready to take on every challenge.
After being scrutinized for much of last season, the year didn't quite end the way Bears quarterback Rex Grossman would have liked.
Grossman. Look out here, he's intercepted. Picked off by Kelvin Hayden. And Hayden still running inside the 20, and Hayden may run it back all the way. He does!
This Super Bowl loss to the Colts ended up being a huge disappointment for Grossman and his teammates. But Rex says more than anything, the loss serves as motivation for this upcoming season.
I think it's motivation. Once you get to that level, you know what it takes to get there, and then you realize what it takes to win it. And we had our chances in the fourth quarter of that Super Bowl, and we're just 1 quarter away from taking that next step to be world champions. So it's my job right now to do everything I possibly can to get to that level.
As for Rex, on a personal note, the 2006 campaign was indeed a roller coaster ride for the signal caller. He went from being the NFC Player of the Month in September to a quarterback who had every decision questioned by the so-called experts in the sport. But he says at the end of the day, he will benefit from the entire experience.
Nothing takes a place of experience. In order to get better, you have to go through some bad moments and learn from it and then improve on that. And this offseason, that's what I've really focused on, is what has made me have those slump games, and they continue to build on those great games that I had. So my goal next season is A, win the Super Bowl, and B, win NFC North and play consistently, and give our offense and our playmakers around me a chance to do what they do.
Yeah, with training camp quickly approaching, Rex is spending his final free days enjoying family on and off the golf course. Recently, I had a chance to hang out with Rex on the links, and a very relaxed Rex talked about how excited he is about this year's offense, beginning with tight ends Des Clark and #1 draft choice Greg Olsen, who is officially signed and will be in camp on time.
both our tight ends have special abilities that are mismatches for just about every defender in the league, unless you have a Brian Urlacher type that can go out there, and then it's a good matchup. But to be able to have both those guys in the game at the same time, and both of them can play tight end, fullback, or wide receiver, and the defense has to figure out what they're going to do as far as substitutions. Do they want to bring in a nickel guy or stay 3 linebackers? So it's going to give Coach Turner, it's going to allow him to be pretty imaginative as far as how we're going to motion and shift and run the ball out of that personnel group, or pass the ball out of that group, and then maybe even allow me at the line to call some plays with that personnel group. So we're just progressing, and that's the most exciting part about this offense, is everyone's another year into it, and we're just going to keep adding tweaks here and there.
Aside from the tight end position, Rex is thrilled at some of the other additions, like having Devin Hester on his side of the ball, along with the guys who are already in place.
We got a great nucleus, great team leaders, great coaches. I'm really excited about the new guys we've added and what Ron Turner can do with that. We've got Greg Olson and Devin Hester moved over, and some new guys that can tweak our offense a little bit and add a new dimension, but really just continue to get better at what we did last year and do it more consistently. And I'm hoping that our offense gets in the top 5 rankings in the NFL, and our defense continues to play the way they've had past couple of years. So we're excited about it, and we think we can take that next step, and that next step is winning the Super Bowl.
Now, the theme around Hallis Hall these days is unfinished business. In fact, O-linemen Reuben Brown and Olin Cruz came up with the idea and actually had the saying put on T-shirts for their teammates. Ironically, it's the same slogan Rex initiated back in high school after his Bloomington South squad finished second in the state playoff. Is a contract something Rex is even thinking about right now?
Basically you just go out and play. The business side of it takes care of itself as long as you're doing your job on the field. And I know there's a few guys that are coming up pretty soon, but I think that the business side of it will take care of itself as long as you do your job on the field, and that's my mindset. And plus, my number one goal is to win the Super Bowl, and all the other stuff can follow that. And I think that's the right approach.
And while Rex is anxious to see what this upcoming season has in store, no one is more excited to get the party started than his biggest supporter, his father, Dan.
I'm very proud of him, and I can't wait. I can't tell you, I can't wait for the San Diego Chargers game. I can't wait to begin the next season and to begin the next chapter of Rex's career and begin the next chapter of the Chicago Bears' career. I think the Bears are in for a better season they had last year, and they're going to attain higher goals, and they're going to do great. This is going to be a great year.
Oh, what the hell was that?
Jacked it up. Oh, man. Messed up that par opportunity.
Yeah, it looks like Billy Jack just screwed it up again. Back to you, Gail.
With Rex Grossman, William Jackson, Comcast Sportsnet.
All right, thank you, Rex and William. But Billy Jack tapped in for an 8 there, so everything was all right. But
take a look, scramble, which is scary.
Take a look at Rex. The guy was resilient last year. Be interesting to see what happens in a contract year. He's going to have the shotgun. Let's see how he handles that. But he's got to limit the problems. We saw 4 games with a quarterback rating of 40 or less. Won one of those games, but that stuff's got to end.
And the Bears have said all along they're very committed to Rex Grossman, but he's only signed through this season. If he has any struggles at all, they may look elsewhere for a quarterback. So the pressure is on Rex and the rest of the team.
And you got to remember, Greasy's waiting in the wings.
He is waiting, absolutely. In other NFL news, Chicago native Simeon Rice could be looking for a new team. According to several reports, the 33-year-old Rice failed his physical with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because of a damaged left shoulder. The injury limited him just 8 games last season. He finished with 21 tackles and a career low of 2 sacks.
Straight ahead, the Cardinals sacked their former teammate Jason Marquis tonight. We'll head back to the Lou and hear from the Cubs starting pitcher next.
Sports Night on